Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison, and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. The Packers pulling off the trade of the millennium yesterday, acquiring 26-year-old superstar Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for 2 future first-round picks and 9-year veteran, 3-time Pro Bowler Kenny Clark going back to the Cowboys. Reactions began yesterday afternoon, and they continue all day today on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, including with Wilde and Tausch from 9 to noon, a special edition of Mr. Irrelevant live on radio and on YouTube from noon until 2, Kyle Bruston Nortman 2 to 4, Jim, Matt, and Molly from 4 to 5:30. 8th-ranked Wisconsin volleyball begins its season tonight at the Kohl Center. The opening Spike Classic. They host 14th-ranked Kansas. Pregame coverage starts at 5:30. Brewers game on 1670 The Zone tonight against the Blue Jays.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Friday edition. I don't believe what I just saw, except I kind of do. What I can't believe is that crazy old Jerry Jones let this guy out of his building. I thought it was crazy that the Giants let Xavier McKinney out of their building. What do you think this is? Edition. We will meet Micah Parsons at 2:30 at Lambeau Field. LaFleur and Goody will speak beforehand. And then the modern-day Reggie White will make himself available to us in this seismic move that the Packers have made edition. And the Badgers beat Miami of Ohio. It wasn't overly impressive, but the Badgers Outsider said that we need to be understanding and support the team, and that's what I'm going to do, edition.
And you got Mr. Rational producing the show. So, all good.
Of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, everything you could possibly need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free ESPN Wisconsin app, which is available both in the Android and Apple app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Mr. Rational, Jesse Nelson, is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And Mr. Golden Fleece, green and golden fleece, the Packers Hall of Famer. And he's right, by the way. I used the term fleeced yesterday, and I wasn't sure if I was being hyperbolic. But once this guy said it, I felt much better. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. I know they already said good morning to you on Unsportsmanlike, but how you doing?
Well, I'm kind of rolling. I got up and did the Unsports. Evan's not on the show, so I decided to jump on with Smalls and Courtney and that crew. But I legit, as we were talking yesterday, and you kind of sensed stuff was happening, and then you yesterday on the show were you were very, listen to what he said, listen to how he said it. The whole thing still makes no sense to me that this could happen, and I'm, like a lot of Packer fans this morning, you're kind of like, did that really happen? So I'm going yesterday. Max has a freshman game before the Badger game, so
Let's
I go
go!
to watch. No, it wasn't great. Didn't go well. Tough sledding for the Cardinals last night.
Okay,
not going to get into the score or anything else because it was pretty ugly. But as I'm walking into the stadium, I get a text, and then I look on Twitter, and I'm like, you know how you now have to look to make sure it's Adam Schefter and not Adam Scheffner or Adam Schleffer? It's like, just wait a second, this can't be. And then you're like, I can't believe this happened. And literally, and I'm sure this happened to you too, your phone just completely blows up. Whether it's people from ESPN or Sirius XM or friends that are like, what the heck, I can't believe that. The excitement level for this, I've never seen it in the years that it is peak excitement that this could happen. So my mind was, I can't believe it, and then it was, well, what did they give up? Was it Rashawn Gary? Was it Edgerrin Cooper? And when Diana Rossini, I think, put it out that it was Kenny Clark, I'm thinking to myself, what? I don't think they wanted – they were already kind of regretting paying Kenny from last time. He went against it. So Goody actually, I think, was even more – I bet he probably had to hold his breath when it was like, this way, and Kenny? All right, well, you know what? Let me check. Let me check to make sure.
It's really hard to part with a guy. He's such a great leader. We love him, which is true, by the way.
Kenny was a great player, but he does not fit what the –
twist my arm, Jerry.
Anymore.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay.
Let me talk to Russ and Ed, and then 3 seconds later, deal's done, and then you negotiate it. So this is such a game-changing move. And for everybody that didn't trust the Gutenator, I understand that this – I mean, it's crazy that this would happen, and then it's really crazy that it happens a week before the season starts. But Goody got it done again, and this has a chance to completely transform what the Green Bay Packers are doing on defense. I'm not going to put him in the same categories as Charles and Reggie yet, but it has that chance. He is that kind of player that will elevate other players, and that's the other part of this. I can't get my head wrapped around why Dallas would do this. But thank goodness they did, and thank goodness Goody, as I said on Unsportsmanlike, there was a bungling by Jerry Jones with this Micah Parsons scenario. A big bungling, and Goody was there to scoop and score that bungle, and now we're Lambeau leaping here in Green Bay that we were able to pick up the bungle and take it to the house. Yeah, not bad.
Did you use that bungle thing with them, or is that fresh for us?
Oh, no, I used my bungle.
Did you say it 6 times in one sentence?
Bungle.
Or was that a little...
Twice. No, I did
need
6
TP
or
for my
7.
bungle.
I used it 6 or 7 times.
6, 7.
What I can't get my head wrapped around, and it doesn't matter, Why would Dallas do this? So we said this last year when the Giants let Xavier McKinney go.
Yeah.
Why they would let him do this? Why they wouldn't sign him? I feel the same way. Mm-hmm. And just think if
10.
he has the impact Xavier McKinney had.
Mm-hmm.
What a world. What a deal.
So let's first say, and I just got a text from Pipe Jim. Would Ted have ever even considered making this trade? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did Ted kick the tires on all trades? Probably. He just never really told us that he wanted to do that. A and B. I think he, and I really want to ask Goody this. When did you think that this was actually possible? Because teams don't do this. And you have to be a very good, perceptive, smart GM to take advantage of not one but two teams who are galactically stupid enough to let Xavier McKinney and then by a force multiplier of 10, Micah Parsons out of their building. Right? Goody deserves all the credit in the world for taking advantage of both those scenarios. Identifying a great player, although I'm no scout, but both of them look like pretty good players already before the Packers acquired them. But that is the part that I am struggling with. Because as this kind of unfolded, and it started to look like it was more than just Pretty Ricky and some guy on a Reddit page, and there was actually legs to this, then it didn't come as a surprise that the Packers did it. What it came as a surprise was that the Cowboys actually voluntarily did this. And
the team that has gutted,
correct, beaten them, knocked them out of the playoffs 3 different times in the last decade, with some of the most gut-wrenching losses they've had.
So, Jason, the question I keep coming back to is, if you're going to do this, and I didn't get a chance to see Jerry Jones's presser last night. It sounds like it was a debacle.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job, Michael.
You do this before the draft, and you get a bigger haul. You could probably have, when teams haven't planned out, and I think they're going to look back and say, what the hell were we doing? And you're going to get a good look at it for 4 or 5 weeks here when Green Bay goes down to Dallas. I think the Cowboy fans are going to be with Micah on this whole deal, and I think Goody deserves a lot of credit for hanging in there and then being bold enough to do it. And, hey, we're going to figure it out. We have to pay the freight. We're going to pay the freight, and now you have to see to make sure that what you're getting is going to be executed on, because now there's no more, we're an underdog. We don't have Vegas changed its lines off of what this move made. That tells you a lot, because they typically, if it ain't a quarterback, lines aren't moving. That's how much they think this shifts the balance of power in the NFC by bringing someone as dynamic as Micah Parsons into this defense.
So you've taught us a lot. One of the things, though, that you've taught us is that when a team doesn't bring a guy back, you have to ask yourself,
why?
Yeah. But now we've got two guys where I'm not sure that rule applies. And again, and Xavier McKinney is great. We were literally talking hours before this actually became known, which I still have a sneaking suspicion that he had a feeling as well. They have the same agents. He was very adamant that he was not going to talk about it. And I wonder if he had a little Jason Wilde, I can't say anything or I'm going to spill the beans kind of a deal. So he was beelining out of there when the conversation turned. But as crazy as it is that the Giants let him out of the building, it is even by a multiplier of 10 crazy that Parsons got out of the Star. And I did text Mike McCarthy. I don't know what he's got going on. I don't know what he would say. Maybe that's part of the problem. But I would love to know what Big Mike is thinking today. You know who else I'd love to know what they're thinking?
Aaron Rodgers.
I'd like to know what a
You're
first-round
always
wide
wondering
receiver.
what Aaron Rodgers is thinking. You're always
a
wondering.
first-round wide receiver, and now is traded for the best defensive player, arguably, in football. I can't get my head wrapped around what is Jerry Jones doing, because we were dismissing all this stuff previously as, oh, he's a content creator, just wants attention.
Entertainer,
This
money
is
guy,
not
marketing guy.
This is not good marketing. This is not entertaining.
So, Jason, I think it's pretty easy to you read the tea leaves, and one of the things that is interesting about Jerry Jones is he lets you know. He tells you. He's got his own radio show. I think he does 2 radio shows. He talks to the press after games. Like, he is your dream as an owner. You would love having Jerry Jones at your disposal. And I just think in this case, you let things get personal, and then you can convince yourself of things. And
we need to stop the run better.
When you do that, yeah. And they do. There is no doubt that they do. And you know
He's
what?
right.
I think Kenny Clark will help him in that. As long as Kenny can stay healthy. The whole process as far as trying to figure out why the Dallas Cowboys are doing something is kind of it's
a fool's errand.
Well, and you're not going to figure it out because Jerry's going to do what Jerry wants to do. Mm-hmm. And when you are able to maneuver, I don't know how, and that I can't wait to hear, and I don't know when, if Goody ever writes a book or if somebody, how this came to be. I really think that Jordan Love deserves a huge attaboy because his relationship with Micah and the fact that their relationship with Russ Ball, I think that also played a big part in this. I think if Jordan Love doesn't have the same agent as Micah Parsons, I don't know if this happens. So there is a lot of moving parts that go. The fact that Jerry Jones cared enough that Micah got his money and that trade had those parameters and Green Bay fit those parameters, even though Green Bay gave him the toughest loss he's ever had, doesn't make any sense. But I think from my standpoint, don't care. All right, Cowboy stuff,
right,
it's interesting.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
They can dissect that all you want. What I care about is the fact that you're going to end up giving up 2 first-round picks that better be 25 and up. There is no excuse. There's nothing. 25 and up or that. And when you do that and you get this guy to help everybody else and you didn't have to give up Rashawn Gary, I legit think there's only 2 players Green Bay wouldn't have given the Dallas Cowboys. And Edgerrin Cooper is one of them, and I think Xavier McKinney's the other. I think everybody else was in play for the Cowboys to have, and they picked Kenny Clark, which, by the way, is probably the player, if Goody was going to offer, would have said, nah, he's expensive, he's old, but we're going to let him go. And that's just the other layer to what was an unbelievable execution by Brian Gutekunst. And my Goody stand-em has been high. It's been higher than almost everybody else's. And we look pretty smart today. The Goody stands look pretty smart today. That's all I can say.
$188 million, which is more than Jerry Jones paid for the Cowboys. Obviously, it's in $2025, not in $1992 or whatever he did. 136 guaranteed, 120 million fully guaranteed, 2 first-round picks, and Kenny Clark, who is turning 30 on October 4th, and they were going to try and get out of their contract with him after the season.
He was done
despite
after
his leadership, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too big of a price to pay by any means.
No.
The idea that they not only got this player at, by the way, and I have to keep saying this because, this is different than Reggie, who was 31, and it's different than Reggie because he changed the way the Packers were perceived. There's a lot of, in addition to the player he was, aspects to that acquisition that it made them a big league team. It made them look like a destination. It made black players be more open to the idea of coming to lily white Green Bay, Wisconsin. He was a change agent. So from that perspective, there is no comparison. But Reggie was 31. He'd been a 7-time All-Pro. He'd played in the USFL. He was not 26. Charles Woodson was a malcontent who no one else was willing to sign to play cornerback in the entire NFL. Mm-hmm. And he kept rebuffing the Packers. They didn't have to give up anything for him either other than signing him in free agency.
Yeah, he didn't want to come here. No.
To get this player at this point in his career, if you listened to our show leading up to this, and my biggest issue at this point is, how did Goody keep a straight face when I was asking that question on Wednesday? Because I'm not playing sheep's head with him. I'm not playing sheep's head with anybody. But, man, what a poker face. But my biggest issue with this, and what we kept saying when we were talking about how maybe it's possible, is this guy fits exactly what Brian Gutekunst wants in much lesser accomplished players. He's 26. His best football is still ahead of him. Goody says that all the time. If you're a 3-time All-Pro and a 4-time Pro Bowler in your 5th NFL season, and you just were acquired and Goody got you and he thinks your best football's ahead of you with that kind of football behind you, holy smokes, man. Think about what's possible. Now, the next thing I want to get to before we get to all the calls, because I know everyone wants to get in on the conversation on this. And by the way, if you're a Debbie Downer, I do want to hear from you. I have not encountered anyone like you yet.
There ain't. Let me tell you something. The only Debbie Downers are Dallas folks. There's no pack. As we sit here today, if you're Debbie Downering on this for the Green Bay Packers, I really want to hear from you because
right,
I can't.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're a Debbie Downer now, buzz off.
I can't come up with an angle.
Right.
You know, we're always in this business looking for different angles, and there isn't one. This was a fleecing by Brian Gutekunst of everything you just said, and you just gave yourself a bigger window to be. Now you have the field-tilting, bullseye, spotlight player that we've always wanted. And if Edgerrin Cooper is as good as everybody thinks, you now have it in 3 different levels of your defense, which is going to be, I'm telling you, I was standing next to 2 Bear fans at my son's football game yesterday.
By choice?
And they were apoplectic. They couldn't believe.
I bet.
When I told them, they said, blank off. No blanking way. And then they looked at it. They're also Cubs fans. Cubs got beat. They were literally trying to find a hole to go put themselves in. That's where they were at with how yesterday went from a Green Bay. I just don't know if there is an angle. I want to hear it because I don't think there is from a Packer fan standpoint.
All right, well, we'll challenge you to do that. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Again, the Packers will introduce Micah Parsons, who, as Matt LaFleur called him before their playoff game in January of 2024.
Called him Michael? No,
he did not. No, he called him a game wrecker and a freak. And now that freak is on his team. I do want to get into a few other aspects of this. We will get to your calls. Again, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Micah Parsons is a Packer. How do you, as a Packers fan, feel? I bet you feel as good as you possibly could, like you feel when you replace your windows with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And we love windows on this show. We love Pella for a long time, and that this window of a championship is wide, blank, and open, and that brings me a lot of comfort. And for long-lasting comfort and reliability, trust Pella. Each piece specifically constructed for your home. Each Micah Parsons piece constructed for your defense. Always designed. Now, can you imagine the innovation Pella has? The innovation Jeff Hafley's going to have? Going to rigorously test for quality and performance. And it is built to create long-term energy savings. Create long-term championship windows. There was no reason to wait. Get it done. And if you order by August 31st, Goody got the trade done. You need to get your windows and doors ordered by August 31st. You get 0 interest for up to 60 months. That's up to 5 years of no interest payments. So don't miss out. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions do apply. Almost crazy how much correlation there is with what Goody just did, bringing in Micah Parsons, and with going to get Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is. Very, very similar.
And both of them are in their prime. Micah Parsons.
Amen.
And sleek Gina Della. 844-770-3776. More of your Micah Parsons reactions. Are we going to talk about the Badgers at all? Probably not. It's Wilde and Tausch.
I don't think so.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. With Milwaukee making a push for baseball's postseason and the start of a new football season in Green Bay and Madison, there's a bunch of energy and excitement right now all around the state. Speaking of energy, this time of year could be a great time to discover a new way to power your home. Well, how would you like to start saving money while also helping save the planet? Well, all you have to do is make the switch with Everlight Solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch to solar over the last several years. When we met with the team at Everlight Solar, they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
The Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to a trade that sends 3-time All-Pro defensive end Micah Parsons to Green Bay in exchange for 2 first-round picks in 2026 and 2027 and veteran defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Not only does it bring Parsons to Green Bay, but it also makes Parsons the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. 4 years, $188 million is the new deal the 4-time Pro Bowler has signed with Green Bay. Reaction all day long right here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Alex Stroh.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Hey, it's John Audius, play-by-play voice of Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. Join us for the broadcast coming up later today, right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brought to you by Love Madison Volleyball.
For the first time, you can stream all of ESPN all in one place, and it has changed the game for me. All the best live sports, the most championship moments, studio shows, documentaries, and originals, too many to even name them all. Plus, all the great new features like watching 4 games at once with Multiview, your fantasy team updates live in-game. They thought of everything to make this the ultimate destination for fans. So you got to check it out. Sign up for the all-new ESPN app, like right now.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale ever is happening now. Save 10% off store-wide or use Steinhaffel's 60-month 0% financing and get $50 instant cash back for every $4.99 you spend. Plus, buy a premium mattress and get free premier delivery on your entire order. And get amazing doorbusters like a Sealy mattress for only $199. Sofas starting at just $299. Shop Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Micah Parsons is a Packer. Just let that hang there for a second. Again, this is one of the... I tweeted it this morning after I dropped Maddie off to get on the bus for her cross-country meet at 6 a.m., which was very early. But I saw the sunrise, and I realized this is not a dream. This is not a drill. This actually happened yesterday. We want to get your thoughts. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We'll get to your calls and your texts on the Carbless Tuck and text line momentarily. My question for you, Tausch, is this. Would you play Sheep's Head with Goody? Because think back to my question.
I wouldn't play poker. Sheep's Head,
so you don't need a poker face and Sheep's Head? You don't need that?
You need skill and talent and experience, and I have all those. Poker, I would not. I'm not a great poker player. See, I like to. I'll shoot straight with you. Euchre, pretty standard game. Any schlub can play.
Thank you.
Sheep's Head's a specialty, so I would play him in Sheep's Head. Absolutely.
Okay. If the reporting is accurate, and I have no reason to think it's not, they had agreed to the parameters of the trade, 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark 2 days ago. And then it was just a matter of working out the contract, which would explain my buddy Chad Dern from Steinhoffels, his son Charlie, and his brothers sending a flight-aware screenshot of a flight that went from Green Bay to Dallas. Apparently that was, I will have to confirm this, but I presume that was Russ Ball meeting David Mulugheta in Micah Parsons' living room to negotiate the details of the deal. Can you believe Goody kept? Look, I'm not a secret keeper. I've got a couple now in the bank, pelts on the wall of secrets I kept, sort of. Watch the video again. I posted the video of my question to Goody, and knowing what we know now, I do kind of think he's like biting the inside of his cheek. I think he might be. I think, listen to this idiot asking this question. If he only knew what bold thing I've already done. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, you saw through it because you have been every time we bring up hypotheticals and the Micah Parsons stuff when he has not signed a contract all offseason, boy, wouldn't it be great? And then the Packers, Trey Hendrickson, all that conversation all offseason. And something changed yesterday, so you had a hunch being in that room with Goody that was. So maybe his poker face, while it's good, maybe it ain't as good as because your instincts led you to think that was the road this was going down. So I have not seen that, but it is difficult because we got after Goody for lying to you way back in the day. And my point to you was, what do you want him to do? He has to – there's a game you have to play when you're in his position, and – he's played it pretty dang good, and he played this scenario very well to be able to pull this off pretty big time.
So the question is, where were you when you got the news? My phone was in my car. I was in Quick Trip.
Is that
I came back.
What were you getting?
They've got a turkey and Swiss on this cranberry wheat bread sandwich.
Okay.
Big fan of that.
Kind of a health nut.
And I got a smoothie. I did not get the for real.
You got what? I missed that.
I got a smoothie.
Mumbled. What did you get?
I got a smoothie.
You had a turkey sandwich in one hand and a smoothie in the other?
I did indeed. And then I went to Goodman's Jewelers. So my question for you is, would you have dropped your smoothie when you got to your car? Because when I saw how many tweets I had notifications of, and then they just kept coming when I sat down, and I was like, but I didn't feel the shock that I thought I would feel. I was like, okay, I better get to work.
Yeah, that's kind of how it.
And then they said, we'll see you next time.
Indeed, and this fall, it's more than just football season. It's the Gatorade Border Battle at Quick Trip. Are you team purple or green and gold? Well, I think we know where we are. And either way, you could score the ultimate fan experience. 2 Turf Suite tickets to the Week 18 Packers-Vikings showdown at U.S. Bank Stadium. I'll tell you who's sweating a little bit. Offensive tackles in the NFC North. I'm going to tell you that right now. I guarantee they're sweating that one at Micah. Plus, you get a $250 Quick Trip gift card to fuel your fandom. Just purchase any Gatorade product with your Quick Rewards account, and you earn bonus Fan Zone points. So Packers, Vikings, let the Quick Trip Gatorade border battle begin. No purchase is necessary. Details are at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. And when you're busy, make life easy. Order ahead. Had Jason ordered ahead, they'd have brought that out to him. He could have had his phone. He could have eaten his chicken and his smoothie and his cranberry turkey sandwich, all right there in the app. Don't miss the hot savings this week, though. You got Nature's Touch ice cream, 1.5 quart, $2.99. Quickery white bread, 1 pound loaf, 99 cents. They got it all. Life is busy. Quick Trip's got you covered. Get on that sweepstakes. Get on their specials. And we'll see you next time.
All right, the rest of the program. We are going all reactions, all phone calls, all texts, all the time.
What is it, Monday?
Feels like a Monday. Did we make up all of our trivia?
No.
Well,
okay, I didn't think so.
It's going to be tough sledding on trivia. Trivia will be tough.
But we do have a very exciting new sponsor starting with trivia next week. We'll tell you about that later,
so we'll over-deliver to them as we under-deliver for this week's trivia because the Packers got Micah Parsons. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. I know there's a bunch of you already there. Use the Mark Tauscher outgoing voicemail message that he used to have when I would call him and he wouldn't return my calls as a player. Be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. Not quite that rude, but we would definitely like you to be concise, unlike me, so we can get to as many calls and texts as we can. We start next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family-owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
But not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Hey, it's Isaac Miller, junior defensive end in high school. 14 Division I offers. Yep, 1-4. Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Miami, you name it. Everyone's asking, where's Isaac going? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going to be big, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be legendary. But first, I'm hitting the weight room in my Iron Jock gear. Because no matter what logo I wear next, Iron Jock is how I get there. Stay tuned and go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
The Packers have made their move, acquiring Micah Parsons from Dallas.
So does this automatically mean Super Bowl or bust for the Green Bay Packers?
No doubt. Yep. Continue reacting with us right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Let's get to your calls immediately once the laser show on my text from Jesse stops so I can actually read the names. 844-770-3776.
Great laser show at the game last night, by the way. The
Tim
field,
Boyle was there?
The new lights. There's new lights, and there's like this little. Everybody had these little wristbands.
I saw that during jump around.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool little setup. Nicely done by the squad over there.
Badgers Outsider was right. Miami of Ohio is not very good. But our callers are great.
Or our defense was outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you get the positive, Jason?
Do you think that's what it was, Jesse?
First shutout since the opener of 2022.
The defense looked really good last night.
It did.
Now,
yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did. Let's get to the calls. Jesse and I may have a slightly different opinion on that part of it. Let's go. Let's start in Tennessee. Tennessee with Bailey in Tennessee. Bailey, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking my call. I got a few short things to say, and then I'll let you guys discuss it. So, first of all, I am very excited for Micah Parsons. I was waiting for this news. I figured he was going to get traded. I honestly didn't think the Packers would have the best offer for him. And when I first heard the news of just 2 first-round picks, I was honestly scared that we gave up Edgerrin Cooper. But nothing against Kenny Clark. I'm very glad we kept Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness, because now Lucas Van Ness has another few years he's not under as much pressure. anymore, and I have very high expectations for this defense. And this also takes away from our corners as far as we don't need our corners to hold up in coverage as long. And I'm very excited for this Week 4, September 28 game against the Cowboys. So, yeah, thank you guys for taking my call, and I listen to you guys every day. Thank you.
Great call, Bailey. We appreciate your loyalty to the show.
I love you guys.
Imagine this defense against Miami of Ohio. Am I right?
It would have been a dominant deal. I thought that was an interesting point there by Bailey on because the defensive backfield, there's a lot of question marks, right? You know who is probably the most excited? Obviously, Rashawn Gary's
Keyshawn
excited
Nixon.
because no, Xavier McKinney. Because what happens, you start feeling pressure. He's a ball hawk as is. He had 8 picks last year when that pass rush with 4 wasn't dominant.
No.
You have no excuses pass rush-wise. Jeff Hafley, for all the exotic and simulated blitzes, he can still tinker with that. You now have to believe, I'm paying this cat $47 million. You better get home with 4, and when you do that, Xavier McKinney is going to be able to be really rangy and moving. I would think your corners are going to be excited because it's going to help. But Xavier McKinney, talking about a gold jacket, I think that was your interview, talking about gold jackets. Let me tell you something. Gold jackets can be a heck of a lot easier to get the stats to do it when you bring a Micah Parsons into the equation.
Did you see that interview because you were interested in the material being discussed? Or did you see that interview because it was tweeted out and someone pointed out that I was wearing my Pickler sweatshirt?
No, I didn't even know it was you that did. It was not the Pickler per se.
Okay.
I wish that would have been the main motivation on my end.
I was wearing it
more
proudly.
about I heard gold jacket.
Yeah,
that's what intrigued me. Oh, gold jacket.
Yeah, this will help him in that quest, and I think
no doubt.
Again, I think he knew as well. Let's get some more calls. A quick ad, though, from Bailey's call. The other piece of this that I don't think we should undersell, and we say this as big of Kenny Clark stands as there are. Like, he's won our Mully Award multiple times as a stand-up guy. Like, he and I have a phenomenal working relationship. I like him as a guy. He has been on our show many times. But they didn't even give up any of their major pieces as part of this trade. Like, how much better, to Bailey's point, is Rashawn Gary going to be when he has Micah Parsons on the opposite side? How much better is LVN going to be? Because I assume they're going to move him inside on pass rush downs
now.
And he's going to be next to Devontae Wyatt, and that's going to be your big 4 coming after the quarterback. How much better is Edgerrin Cooper going to be? Like, to me, this is a not a rising tide. This is a tsunami lifting all these boats. And they didn't have to give up a huge piece to do it. They gave up a guy they were ready to move on from.
They gave up a guy that I think they regretted giving a third contract to. They went against their own principles, and I think Goody was more than happy. Not that it was because you said all the great stuff about Kenny. Kenny is a Packer Hall of Famer, great football player for us. But what you're always looking for, and the big critique I've had, who's that bullseye guy? Who's that Wednesday meeting? Where's number 11 or whatever number he's going to end up getting? Where's he at? That's what you got. And when you have that, all of a sudden you're not looking, well, where's 52? Where's 56? That changes the entire equation for the rest of those players. Great players make other good players great. Great players make other good players great. That's what Micah Parsons needs to do when he gets in here.
All right, I know there's a lot of calls, so let's get to one more here and then take a break. Let's go to Jason in Tosa. Jason, good morning. Thanks for holding. How you feeling today?
Unbelievably great. Ecstatic. Whatever superlative you want to call it. But I wanted to point out, guys, and I think it's worth noting because I think a lot of Packer fans are in shock and talking. Some I have expressed regret about, we got to give up draft picks. it's worth noting the last 4 Super Bowl winners, the Eagles, the Chiefs twice, and the Rams, all traded first-round picks on the way to winning their Lombardi trophies. And in fact, the Chiefs traded 2 first-round picks, and the Rams traded 4 of them. I've been as critical as anyone about the Packers GMs treating the draft picks like the family jewels and refusing to trade not only round 1 picks, but when's the last time we sent a round 1 through 5 pick for a player? I think it was over 2 decades ago. So all that said, Jason, could you possibly suggest to Goody later today that he maybe not accompany the Packers to Dallas for the Week 4 contest? Because I'm worried there might be a warrant out for his arrest for elder abuse. That was a steal of a deal. That was awesome. I mean,
sound graph. That's a sound graph right there.
I didn't hear that coming. Jason, great call. Yes, again, I used the word fleece with KBN, and I feel justified now because Tausch used it, because I thought maybe I went too far. But I don't think I did.
It's a fleece.
I don't think I did.
It's a fleece.
Well,
Jason,
or a bludgeoning
what
like
are the
he had
other
with
parts?
The Jets guy.
Oh, the leverage off. How much of this is one of the things that I know a lot of Packer fans are wondering. How much of this, making this big, bold move, I think Goody's a lot bolder than everybody else thought. I thought he's not reckless, but I think he has made moves. I've had disagreements with you about this. How much of this is Ed policy driven?
It's a great question. It's a policy question. I would love...
It's an Ed policy.
Thank you for clarifying. By the way, Carmen Policy was the president and CEO
Charles Haley.
of the 49ers when they were competing with the Green Bay Packers for Reggie White. They were one of the other suitors, remember. So I look forward to talking to Ed at some point about this. Look,
if I may interject before you finish the
So
policy.
just to be clear, you're going to interject from me answering
My
your
own
question
point.
that you asked me? Okay.
But then I do want you to – well, you started filibustering
A lot of layers
with your
here.
whole San Francisco. You know how when you make these big trades, there's different positions. You know, Jamal Adams to Seattle for 2 for – but when you see it work out, you brought up the old policy. Charles Haley, he would switch teams, and that team would win a championship. Von Miller traded championship to the Rams. You can start looking at some of these big, bold moves that end up going, and that directly or at least is a big piece to why a team is getting over the hump. There's multiple examples of that, and obviously that's what Reggie White. There's obviously we're hoping that fits this mold too. All right, back to your Ed policy point before we go to break.
Well, we'll get to more of that. You tell us about W Credit Union, and I will save my policy points for later.
Well, there's a lot of stages of fandom, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They'll help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, why did you join UW Credit? I wanted to keep my banking local. I love their member first service, and I love great perks. And I'll be honest, I love that T-shirt cannon. They got that T-shirt cannon in the end zone, and it is I would love to get down there. I've been pushing our friends at UW Credit Union to give LePay and I mini cannons in the booth, and we could just – they have not given that yet. But all of those ideas, I love Bucky, but I love Wisconsin. You can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make you do crazy things. But, boy, this makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
More of your calls. If you're on hold, stay there. I promise we will work our way there. 844-770-3776. You can also text. We'll get to those as well. Micah Parsons is a Packer. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled old man who gave up too little to get better at the run game. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. Mark Tauscher here, and new at Pizza Hut, 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Another season begins tonight. Wisconsin volleyball starting their 2025 campaign with a pair of top 25 matchups at the Kohl Center over the holiday weekend. Bucky facing 14th-ranked Kansas for a 6 p.m. matchup tonight. Then Sunday, the Badgers square off with number 5 Texas at 1 p.m. Wisconsin coming in ranked 8th in the national polls and predicted to finish 3rd in the Big Ten. Join Jesse Nelson for all things pre- and postgame, and John Arias for all the in-game action. Catch every match here on 100.5 ESPN, your home for Wisconsin Badger volleyball.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
All right, everybody, we have to talk about the new ESPN app. The most live sports, the best championship moments, and so much more. Monday Night Football, college football, NBA, WNBA, NHL, NWSL, college hoops, volleyball, softball, gymnastics, lacrosse. The list goes on and on. Plus, shows like SportsCenter with SVP, First Take with Stephen A., College Game Day, and the entire 30 for 30 library, which you know I love. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. So sign up now.
Grassland butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We're on the Brewers.
Everybody in Major League Baseball is looking at the Brewers and going, who the hell are these people? What is going on here? This doesn't make any sense, but they're still winning.
Nobody covers the crew like 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run and the radio never turns down. He's got a pedigree that's no good for nothing.
We'll get into the Ed policy factor as we roll on. We won't forget. Let's get some more of your calls first. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Let's go. Now, is this Johnny on the south side or is this Johnny Southside.
So I asked him off the air when he introduced himself. I said, do you want to go by Johnny on the South Side or Johnny Southside? And he said, I prefer Johnny Southside. So without further ado, Johnny Southside.
Isn't there like a band called Southside Johnny? I think so. It might be a trademark infringement here. Johnny, how you doing?
Ecstatic, gentlemen, just ecstatic. Do you remember, as a child, what it was like to wake up on Christmas morning, seeing the Christmas tree with sparkling magical lights, piles of presents,
and coal in your stomach?
And gentlemen, now I know. August 28th was Christmas morning, and Jerry Jones is Santa Claus.
He definitely was
Another
very
good
generous.
Dazzling details there, too.
Indeed. Sparkling details. Yes. I understand, and you're right, and I want to listen to you, and thanks for the call, Southside Johnny Southside. I don't know how you can look at this trade, though, and not keep coming back to, what the hell is this guy thinking? Is he even thinking? That is part of. It's hard not to think that way, because it just doesn't. Again, look, maybe he didn't want to pay the money. Sense. I get that. That part I understand, but I don't know how you trade him for what you traded him for. I feel like you could have done better
when you traded him.
When you traded him, and to whom you traded him.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome for us. I think the Christmas analogy, I believe I used a Christmas analogy this morning. I don't remember.
Big analogy guy.
We've been doing this show now a decade, starting a decade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. There's always some folks that would be on the draft picks. Blah, blah, blah. Well, we won't be. I did find a reason why you should be at least a little bit cautious.
Oh,
I did, and I'll get to that later.
If
but
you remember,
I'll probably forget, so I better tell it now.
Exactly.
You're going to be up against it, and there are going to be some guys you want to pay that you're not going to be able to. That will be the negative to this. But as far as the Christmas and all, I just don't remember. This is first day of school, Christmas, wedding. This is just such a
all wrapped
big
up into one
celebration. This is a celebration a week before the season starts. I don't know if you – usually it's bad news at this time of the year. Somebody's injured. I don't think there is ever going to be an acquisition that brings more joy to a fan base a week before a season starts than what we just saw. I don't envision this ever happening. That's what's so crazy about it.
Well, raise a Tito's transfusion to Jerry Jones and his look, someday I'm going to be 82. I don't want people, hopefully, God willing, if the creek don't rise. I don't want people making senility jokes and old guy jokes, even though I did laugh at Jason and Tosa's line about elder abuse. That was funny. I'm not proud of the fact that I laughed, but I did. But you have to have a serious. If I was a Cowboys fan, I'd have a serious conversation about the owner and what he's permitted to do. I'm just saying that. That said, this is to trade him for what he traded him for, to whom he traded him, is just mind-boggling to me. But we've got too many calls for me to spend too much time about that. Tell us more about your transfusion.
Okay, I will tell you about the transfusion. But, Jason, you obviously didn't cover the team when Reggie got traded, or when we signed Reggie White as a free agent.
Correct.
Or the Favre trade. Is there anything close to the excitement that you saw yesterday in the 30 years you've been covering the team?
Yeah, so because Reggie predates me, I can't.
And
that
Favre.
one doesn't count. But let's be honest, the Favre trade was not anything like this. The Favre trade was you gave up one of our first-round picks for a guy that was so hammered the night before that he was hungover and he missed the team picture. And then Woodson, yeah, there was buzz. There was excitement. Hey, Heisman Trophy winner, great player. Didn't even really want to come here. Like, this is that nothing. I racked my brain for an acquisition.
30 years and nothing. Isn't that crazy? Well, I'll tell you what. I love fleecing the Cowboys. 3 things I love. Fleecing the Cowboys in a trade, firing up the grill, and a solid cocktail in hand. And all of those things are going to happen this weekend. And whether you're tailgating before the game, watching from the couch, Tito's Handmade Vodka is always my go-to. It's made in Austin, Texas. And I'll tell you what, if I'm out on the golf course, transfusion, you want to rehydrate, a little Gatorade with it, boom, boom, boom. Some early morning, throw a little spicy Bloody Mary, and it's always Tito's that we mix it with. And the other great thing about Tito's, they give back in a big way, partnering with nonprofits and doing real good in communities across the country, especially for our four-legged friends. So next time you're raising a glass, make it Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled down in Austin, Texas. Thanks again, Texas, for bringing Micah Parsons up to the G&G. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The top of the 10 o'clock hour will start the same way all of our other hours have been. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Micah Parsons is a member of the Green Bay Packers. General Manager Brian Gutekunst executing a trade with Cowboys General Manager Jerry Jones yesterday afternoon. The Packers sending Kenny Clark and 2 future first-round picks to Dallas in exchange for arguably the best defensive player in football, just 26 years of age, and he agrees to a 4-year contract extension, the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, Micah Parsons with the Green Bay Packers. Reactions continuing all day long on 100.5 ESPN to the breaking news, including Wilde and Tausch until noon, a special edition of Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe from noon until 2 on both 100.5 ESPN and on YouTube. Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 4. Jim, Matt, and Molly from 4 until 5:30. And then Wisconsin Badgers volleyball begins its season at the Kohl Center. 8th-ranked Wisconsin, 14th-ranked Kansas. First serve at 6 o'clock.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Get some more of your calls. Thanks to those that noticed little Theo. We were fostering a couple of kittens, and now we've just decided to keep them. So he's one of them, and his brother is Sullivan. So they're.
How many is that now?
I can't speak to that for fear of some sort of legal ramifications. Let's keep going with the calls. 844.
You can't tell me how many cats you have?
I don't think I can, actually.
What, you have too many that are allowed in a house? Is that what it is? Or?
I would prefer not to have to spell it out for you.
Needs to file an LLC because he's got so many cats.
Let me ask you this. How big is your ball of yarn? I guess that's the question.
There was an old sports writer. He lived in a shoe. He had so many kittens, he didn't know what to do. But he didn't tell the city of Green Bay to stay out of jail. All right, we need to get to calls. Enough cat talk.
Oh, my God.
I want to apologize for hoarding cats.
I want to apologize in advance to Austin and Salt Lake City. Austin, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. Sorry for keeping you on hold for another minute for that nonsense. How you feeling about Micah Parsons?
Oh, good morning, guys. It's a great day. It feels like a new day as a Packers fan. I was calling yesterday because I was worried that if Goody did this, he'd be selling the farm. I've been skeptical of him. I've been critical of him. I've been on the fence. But you know what, guys? Now I agree with Tausch. I am all the way in. I'm a Goody stan. Jason's got cats, but this Packers team has dogs everywhere. We got Jacobs, X, Golden, now Micah. This is an incredible move, but let's pretend for a second that Jarrah hasn't lost his mind. Do we still have the resources to stop the run? Love you guys.
It's fair. So look, a couple things. Really good call, Austin. The dogs versus cats line, top notch. Not quite as good as elder abuse, but a little less offensive.
Jesse's going to have some work to do this weekend. He's going to have to put a fan montage together because our callers, everybody's had a quotable,
the bar
really
is high.
good clip so far.
I agree.
It's big time.
So
our fans have also had to elevate their game now that the G&G have elevated theirs with Micah.
Who would be our Micah Parsons?
No, our fans are elevating their game.
I know, but who would be our Micah Parsons? Like, who would we have to add as a fan of the show?
Well, it's probably one of those 6 new cats you just brought in. Yeah, it's got to be somebody new. You got 6 new cats.
Okay. So Sparky in Sussex is not eligible. He's more of our Kenny Clark, and we're trading him to KBN.
Appreciate. Hey, good run, Sparky. You've been a hell of a teammate, but sorry, the young Micah's coming into town.
Sorry, Sparky, that was just a joke. Please don't leave us. All right,
yeah, we love you, Sparky.
Couple things.
He knows a thing or two about Christmas morning, though.
That's not bad either.
I bet that Yule log was burning hot this morning, boy. Oh boy. Oh yeah. All right, go ahead, Jason.
All right, don't let me forget to get to the not to
Ed policy.
Ed policy. Yeah, don't let me forget about that. 2 things. One, I think that we have found and it's not the Debbie Downer. Okay, it's not that, but amid all this euphoria, take a beat. Call Lois, have a meal, and then you do have to think about some of the money being outlaid here. That is fair, and I think there's that discussion happening in both of the YouTube chats. I agree. Like, I usually, as I've said many times, I'm the thumb on the scale guy. If it goes too far one way, I push it down the other, etc. I have not done a good job of that on this because I don't think there's a lot of thumb usage to be used. But that would be the one section that I think merits a conversation. And if we had 6 hours of a radio show, we would get to that. But I think we should enjoy the euphoria. There's plenty of time to talk about the cap stuff. That's one. 2, I am curious to see what this does, because you said this earlier, and I wanted to get back to it, and then we were talking about cats and everything else. I do think I really do want to see what this does for other people on this team. And because, look, as much as we are praising Goody, and rightfully so, if Rashawn Gary is who he was drafted to be, I believe he was drafted in the same spot in his draft as Micah Parsons was, 12th. If he is who they paid him to be, They don't need to acquire Micah Parsons. And now, though, if he's on the opposite side and you're putting LVN next to Devontae Wyatt, Katie, bar the door. I think you should be really, really excited because I think this is – I don't think Rashawn Gary was good enough to be an elite pass rusher all by himself.
Well, and Jason, in fairness, when you start looking at the numbers, Mike is almost making double what Rashawn Gary did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
$47 million is a lot a year. I do want to see, and I don't want to get David Mulugeta mad at me. He already went after Andrew Brandt a little bit on Twitter. I do want to see when the contract is filed what it looks like. Because I do want to see, I mean, $136 million is a ridiculous amount of guaranteed money. God bless him. It's really only about 65, 70 after taxes, though. But
60, 70. Right?
I knew you'd come around.
Would you stop?
No,
I don't know if I can.
I don't either, and I still don't
Jesse,
know where it came
from.
I
can.
No, I don't know where it came from.
Can't help yourself.
I really can't.
We're trying to get. We want younger fans. We got to go where the people are.
Here's the thing. In fairness, before we get to Levi and Stevens' point, we are probably alienating younger fans if the reaction that I'm seeing in my house when I do the 6-7.
That's why I do it, though.
Well, but you're
It
annoying the
annoys
people you're trying to bring in.
Yeah, but I think there's some fun. I don't want to get bogged down. We got a lot of calls.
You don't want to get bogged down.
I don't want to bog down.
I'm sorry.
Keep it rolling.
Who are you?
I don't know. Well, it's a new era. It's a new era.
Pretty good running game last night, huh, old T? They were running the ball effectively.
Let's get another call in. Meanwhile, Gabe's texting me about if he needs to do a cat intervention. That would be a catastrophe.
The answer is yes, Gabe, but that ship has sailed.
Let's talk to Levi and Stevens Point. Levi, are you any relation to Levi and Plover?
Very funny, Jason. It's still me.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I thought it was pretty good. What do you got, buddy?
Well, last time I called you guys, I wanted to let Tausch know how I did from the cornhole back in June. I wanted to stay to tell him.
Championship?
Chip?
Well, Tausch, I hate to say it, you kind of jinxed me. I went fourth, but hey.
Hey, don't put that on me,
Come
Levi.
on.
I missed a couple of airmails. Don't be putting that on me, Levi.
Levi, how big was the field? If this is like, now in fairness,
Five.
if this is,
Five
I was going to say, if this is like the jiu-jitsu tournament that Riley was in, where he had a forfeit and then he beat one guy, it was championship, we need to talk. But
like my old wrestling days when there was nobody in the weight class, and I'd walk out with a gold medal.
Oh my God! All
right, Levi, what do you think? What do you think, Levi, of the big move that the Gutekunst made?
Man, he really pulled it off, guys. I really think in this 4-year span with Micah Parsons with this 4-year deal, they got to win in this 4-year window. If they don't, this could come back to bite them. But hey, I'm just very, very, very excited about what's going on. We didn't have to give up much. And I wish Kenny Clark nothing but the best. He did pretty well for the Packers for all those years. So, well, I'll let you guys get going so you can keep on the clock, though, Jason.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I do here. What do you? This really isn't Levi and Plover if he thinks that we stay on the clock. Yeah, the new
Levi that took second place in the Bags tournament.
So let's explore that briefly before we get to the next call. How much does this? Because again, pressure is a privilege. It's one of the quotes that I love. Billie Jean King / Mark Tauscher. But how much does this ratchet up the pressure? Like, because look, this is not all in for 2025 though. Okay, be fair. This is not all in for 2025 only. This is all in for 2025 and the span of this contract with this player.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, is so he signed a 4-year extension. The 5th year is still there. He's got 5 years with the G&G. It's a 5-year deal, including this season. So
maybe he'll stay for 6-7.
That's why That's why, well, unfortunately it didn't fit, and I wasn't going to try to jam it down your throat.
Now you're trying too hard.
This is why this move is so awesome, is this wasn't a Trey Hendrickson, TJ Watt, where you're 31, 32, 36, 37. This is more of a...
Now who's jamming it in?
Well, you forced me. I didn't want to do it. This is a 26-year-old primetime. Elevators are lined up. Let's go along with Jordan Love, who they're friends. This has that chance. I'm not going to do what everybody else is wanting to do and compare it to Favre and Reggie. They haven't earned that yet, but that is the goal. That's the goal, where you have that, and you're hoping to not just be a fart in the wind. This is not let's get one before we can talk about more, but this has the move of trying to be dynastic. That's what this move has the move. This is what the goal, when Goody gives up picks and Kenny, to get a player of this caliber on the other side of the football with a quarterback you believe has that chance. Now, Jordan Love still has a lot to prove, but this is a move to not win one. This is a move to put yourself in a position to be dynastic as the Green Bay Packers. That's what yesterday was about.
How much do you think it has changed the line on the over-under on wins at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford?
That's a great question. I would think I saw that it moved the line for the Packers to be a Super Bowl champion. I believe it moved us into being the favorites for the NFC North. I believe that helps Jordan Love's MVP odds. I'm guessing our ticket is going to be a lot more valuable. And I think the Depoy candidate, I think Old Boy is one of the heavy favorites for Depoy. So a lot of stuff happened. And you know what? If it's happening, we're at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, 1,300 slots, 50 live table games, and a sports book that is littered with fun Packers opportunities. And if you're hungry, diverse dining options all over. You got the Hard Rock Cafe, Council Oak Steaks and Seafood, and that UU Noodle Bar that I need to get to. Hard Rock Live Entertainment Venue, 23,000 square feet, premium concert and event space, more than 1,000 feet of LED screens, and a beautiful experience for up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois, about an hour from the greater Madison area.
We will try to keep the pace up. Again, I appreciate your patience. I know you have more important things to do than to simply wait on hold for us. We will get to more of your calls.
It's a holiday weekend. Everyone's off of work.
We'll get three aside here. Let's make a deal here. Let's get three aside.
Let's go.
Three aside.
More calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. As we count down the days to kickoff of the college and pro football seasons, you may be planning those last few weekend road trips before we get back into our fall routines. And if that's the case, remember to stop by and see the reliable service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie before you hit the road. There is no better vehicle service team than the team I trust over at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. You can get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on the fun of getting from place to place for whatever your next adventure holds and not allowing vehicle trouble to disrupt you. Schedule a service appointment, view vehicle inventory, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. There's only so much time left in the summer. Don't let vehicle trouble take a second of it away from you. Trust the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Love Madison and Smith Roofing.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well, born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
For the first time, you can stream all of ESPN all in one place, and it has changed the game for me. All the best live sports, the most championship moments, studio shows, documentaries, and originals, too many to even name them all. Plus, all the great new features like watching 4 games at once with multi-view, your fantasy team updates live in-game. They thought of everything to make this the ultimate destination for fans. So you got to check it out. Sign up for the all-new ESPN app, like right now.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
844-770-3776. Let's get back to rolling here as the phone lines are full again. Let's go to Patrick in Minneapolis. First, Patrick, good morning. Thanks for holding on. Your reaction, sir.
Ooh, this is just downright dynasty. Late last night, I got a. Yeah, thank you. It was a little forced, I'll admit. I've been thinking about it while on hold. Got to get in that quotable.
Elevate your game.
Late last night, I got a text from a good friend and colleague. He's a dejected, hapless Vikings fan, and it simply said, "God must love Green Bay." And he meant that as a joke, but then I thought about it. He's right. Reggie was the Minister of Defense who was famously told by God, a.k.a. Mike Holmgren, to go to Green Bay. School's back in session. Here I sit in my classroom at my desk, note on my door that says, "On Zoom call, do not disturb." And I've got this one-question quiz for you two Madison grads. What is a parson?
Oh, yeah, it's a religious, it's a guy, it's like a lay minister type guy, right?
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Beneficted member of the clergy. And in addition, Micah is a book in the Bible. So there you go. It's nothing but divine intervention. All glory to St. Vince. 10-11 is the new 6-7. Thanks, fellas. Love you.
Wait a minute. Is he on? He's And he's telling his students he's on a Zoom call because he's watching our show?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask. I mean, just like I'm not going to ask you how many cats you have, I'm not going to ask him if he's shutting his students out
6,
to sit and do a call with us. I'm not going to ask those questions. That's up for other people to figure that out. But another quotable. Jesse's got his hands full here.
10, 11
I don't even know where you
6, 7
I think
is so good.
It is good. It's real good. The dynastic, another great call, and I do think there's a lot of Packer fans that feel like, and there's Bear fans, Viking fans, maybe even Lions fans that feel, why does Green Bay always get so fortunate to get this opportunity and the quarterback situation and not having an owner, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it's just – I think there is a very concerned – outlook from the other teams in our division after what we saw yesterday.
Let's keep going with the calls. Let's go to Eric in Green Bay. Eric, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're great.
Awesome.
I got to say one cool thing to start the morning off. I was going for a run up, and I'm in Minocqua right now on the trail, and I ran past someone just smiling ear to ear, listening to you guys too. So we exchanged a little Go Pack goals up in the Northwoods.
Let's go.
We're huge.
Let's go. I love Minocqua.
Yeah,
beautiful up in Minocqua. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, so if you guys are looking for a Debbie Downer, I know it's been a bit. No, it's not me. Anyways, there's a awesome.
By the way,
no, it's not gonna be me.
that may make the montage too. That was really well delivered.
Thank you. The point I wanted to make, I know you're going to touch base on ad policy later, but one of the connections that I thought was kind of cool, just the timing of this trade. Obviously, if this were to happen right in March, April, we don't have the first round pick in Green Bay, so it's kind of cool thinking about the legacies of Mark Murphy and then ad policy here. We had a fantastic draft here in Green Bay. We get the golden pick, get our receiver. And now Ed Policy, you kind of pass the baton on to him. Hold my Coors Light. I'm going to go get Micah Parsons. So, just kind of envisioning a scenario where if we do have a successful run, Micah Parsons making a difference on defense and Matthew Golden on offense, and having both of them, Mark Murphy, kind of his exit legacy statement, and then a huge welcome to, well, he's been here, but a welcome to the role in Green Bay for Policy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, great points, Eric. Tell your little guy we say hello, by the way. Thank you for his devotion to the show. I don't want to downplay two runners because, Tausch and I both avid runners in our free time as well. But you guys with the knowing nod toward each other as you were running up in Minocqua, we appreciate that. He brought up something there, Tausch, I just want to touch on quickly before the next call. I was critical, and I still stand by it, when Brian Gutekunst, after the season ends, gets after his team and says, we need to ramp up our sense of urgency, and it's time we start competing for championships. And my criticism was, hey, man, take a look in the mirror. You got to do it, too. And that was not particularly well received. And I took some shrapnel for saying that. Since then, and there's no causality. I want to be very clear. What I'm saying is that I can't levy that criticism anymore. Period. Finn. Because he drafts a wide receiver in the first round for the first time by this organization in 23 years. Now he goes out and gets Micah Parsons. Those are bold, urgent maneuvers, and he deserves all the credit in the world for doing them. So I did not think that it was right to interpret that as just, hey, these players, I picked you guys, you're good enough, now go show some urgency and go win. And when he was asked about it, he did say, that was meant for the players. Okay, well, maybe Ed Policy said, it's time to ramp up our urgency. Or maybe he just did it on his own. But the bottom line is he has delivered with an urgency as the general manager, too. And I think he deserves a ton of credit for that.
So, Jason, do you think that if that is the case, and Is it more from a vocal standpoint, or is it the fact that Ed Policy came out and said no new extensions, see how it goes? Do you think any of that played a factor, or is this deal was too sweet to pass up? How do you think it played out? Because I think you could look at it from a couple different perspectives.
Yeah, and look, I think you can argue that this was too good of a deal to pass up. They got I don't want to say 2 first-round picks is getting a guy for a song, but in a way it is. Like, think about the offer. Think about the offer that Evan Cohen suggested to us.
You dream to get a player like Micah Parsons. You dream about
yes,
having, and you hope that you can pay. Like, that's the part that is so mind-boggling. And it just never makes sense to me that when you draft somebody and you hit, you should be celebrating along with the player when you give them that extension, because everybody did their blanking job. And Green Bay reaps the benefits of ineptitude that they didn't do that. And now you're basically getting just wait, you don't want someone that is proven to be a really good football player? You don't want to pay him? Okay, we will. Thank you.
To answer your question, because I do think this is something that, and if today wasn't Friday, we'd be talking about it tomorrow, right? Because we'd have more shows to delve into the other aspects of this. But the Ed Policy part I am very much intrigued by, and I don't think that it was Ed Policy coming to Goody's office and slamming his hands on the desk and telling him, go get Micah Parsons. What I do think, though, and this was
a Post-it note. I saw the Packers Twitter feed.
I
Post-it note under his
AI is amazing. So what I do think it is, and I did say this, we're talking about Micah Parsons early in the week. If you keep going 10-7, or around there, 11-6, 9-8, whatever it is, and you're the 6-7 seed. That was actually useful there.
That was really
no, that was that's. I actually would have used that even without the phrase.
But you framed it. It was really well done. Take a compliment.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. So if you keep doing that, sooner or later, as Matt Carney sings, Ed Policy is going to say, "Look, this isn't good enough. This isn't 10-7 town, and this is great. But we need somebody else to get us over the." I mean, again, his dad was part of the group that fired Bill Walsh. So let's be. That's the face right there. That's the face.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're going to get fired eventually anyway, right? In the NFL, you're hired to get fired. If it's going to happen sooner or later, then do it with guns blazing. Do it with take a big swing, and if you strike out, fine. But at least you swung for the fences. So now you go and win a Super Bowl. And you're going to get a couple of multi-year extensions.
For the boys.
Right? And if you don't, you're probably going to get fired anyway. So I just don't – I think that's how it if you're asking how Ed Policy influenced this, I think it was more subtle and it wasn't that subtle. I'm not giving you guys extensions, and I don't like lame ducks. So if you guys do this 10-7, 11-6 stuff – you're going to get a 1-year extension, and it'll be basically a golden parachute for after 26 when you guys do it again, and I can you both. That's what I think.
Yep. We got to get to the third caller. Let's go.
We do indeed. Let's talk to him. It is Jason in Hales Corners. Jason, thanks for holding on. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you feeling?
I am doing outstanding. I'm super excited about this. Micah Parsons, I got to throw this out here. I was at Quick Trip, and I dropped my blue raspberry slushie when I saw it come over my phone.
I'm with you.
I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you guys got a lot of people on the line. So first off, the NFC North offensive linemen, they're sweating in their pants. Mm-hmm. With Micah Parsons being brought in, you're going to have the backfield more open. You're going to have I just made some things up for you're going to have ball hawk guy McKinney and backbreaker LVN going to town. And maybe you guys could talk about this, and that is, has anybody talked about the Jordan Love and Micah Parsons interview? Because I haven't heard anything about that when they first, earlier in the year. I didn't hear anything about that. And my last thing is this. Tausch, it was a pleasure to meet you last week. at Pickler in Menominee Falls.
Awesome.
Love the Pickler.
Yeah, I mentioned in the beginning of the show the Jordan Love relationship with Micah Parsons having the same agent, I think, played a part. And you said, was it Xavier McKinney who also shares an agent?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With Micah Parsons. Not that is going to force Jerry's hand into trade, but you get that ball rolling, and that relationship, all of a sudden, you love the fact that those three cats are going to be together through this run. I don't know. There's going to be some hard decisions that are going to need to be made within the Packers organization because for the first time ever, you have two players making over $100 million a year on average. Mm-hmm. That is big boy stuff, and that is going to limit other players. There are now players are going to be gone after this season. And we'll get into that on Debbie Downer Tuesday or whatever we want to call next week.
We've got a few potential Debbie Downers in the rundown here.
That is to me, that's the biggest Debbie Downer of this whole deal. But you have this opportunity, you pounce on it, and I do think that relationships matter in everything. And I think it did matter in this decision on how this all played itself out.
Well, Ron in Rome and Matthew in Minnesota, do not hang up because you've gotten the possible Debbie Downer demarcation from Jesse. So we will try to get to you coming up. Relationships do matter. We've got a great relationship with American Family Insurance.
And I'll tell you what, Micah Parsons news. This Dream Weekend Sweepstakes was there, and now it's even sweeter. Monday night at Lambeau just got better. Thanks to American Family Insurance. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes. Your chance to win the ultimate Packers game day experience. One lucky winner. Score tickets to the November 10th game. Pre-game tailgate in Titletown. Meal and games. A signed Jordan Love jersey. Packers tours. Swag and more. Your Dream Weekend could be waiting. Don't miss your chance to enter. You have until the stroke of midnight on October 23rd. See official rules at amfam.com/Packers. That's amfam.com/Packers to enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes up at Lambeau Field.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, and you know how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid, participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved getting those personal pizzas, and Pizza Hut's latest offer has me feeling a blast from the past. Introducing Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes, 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken, bacon, ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. Each of these crafted flats pizzas, just $5. All day, every day, making them perfect options for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats pizza at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. $5 crafted flats pizzas, only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
What's up, Madison? It's John Audius. Today's Wisconsin volleyball broadcast is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers. Join us for the broadcast coming up later today on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
All right, everybody, we have to talk about the new ESPN app. The most live sports, the best championship moments, and so much more. Monday Night Football, college football, NBA, WNBA, NHL, NWSL, college hoops, volleyball, softball, gymnastics, lacrosse. The list goes on and on. Plus, shows like SportsCenter with SVP, First Take with Stephen A., College Game Day, and the entire 30 for 30 library, which you know I love. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. So sign up now.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
What was that?
It was just me or, I got such a bargain. Poorly constructed sofa falling apart.
I just bought you.
Yeah, well, I did just turn 3, I'm 67 in sofa years. I am so ready to retire and move to Miami.
I knew I should have listened to my mother and bought that other sofa from Steinhoffel's. It was so strong and comfy.
Tired of furniture that doesn't hold up to its end of the bargain? Steinhoffel's has quality furniture for every style and budget. Relax. It's Steinhoffel's.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Feel the thrill, chase the excitement, and win big. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
We're on the Badgers.
It reminds me of our 2016 year.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
I think being the underdog is a great thing for Wisconsin football. I think this could be that year.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. All this time I wasted. You were right there all along. You and I start gazing intertwining souls. We were never strangers. You were right there all along.
I do not want to hear a single complaint out of you, Jesse Nelson, for the next 6-7 minutes.
Why?
What is he complaining about?
Jesse just gave me a Micah's up.
Yeah, I always say Mike's up when we're coming back. I gave you Micah's up this time, but that was pretty good. Thank you.
Jason, what's the big question you have for Micah today? Because Lord knows you'll get one in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man.
He'll always remember you based on what
right.
you say to him first.
Yeah, I'm all about first impressions. Micah, I don't normally apologize for questions I ask. Maybe I should. Which, by the way, I still feel, in retrospect, that worked pretty well. The answer was great and kind of telling. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I am going to think about it before he's scheduled to speak at 2:30. I like to do some research ahead of time, get a look at, try and find something a little bit offbeat that will engage him. I did see a video clip of, and I don't know if this is from his podcast appearance with Micah or not, but Jordan Love in like some sort of like a off-roading vehicle. I don't know if it's a drift vehicle like we saw in the Buffalo Bills Hard Knocks with their offensive linemen. Of course, my thought was, boy, that kind of seems like a dangerous pursuit.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be driving
More
in a
dangerous
fast
than
car.
a slip and slide.
More dangerous
kind
than
of
having
roughly
52 cats in your basement.
I can assure you we don't have 52. That I can tell you.
I don't think you can assure anything.
Somewhere between 3 and 52 is what he's got.
Let me tell you something. If it's 6 or 7, I'm going over. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Let's get to the calls. Again, sorry to keep you waiting. Let's go north of the border, where he has now been joined by Taylor El Gurzma. It is Ricardo in Canada. Ricardo, good morning. I can only imagine how excited you are.
Good morning, everybody. You have no idea. Literally, when I got the news, I was getting home. I was still on the plane coming back home from Portugal. It was crazy. People were like, why is this guy yelling in excitement? It's a good day. There's no complaints. Let Goody cook.
The man is on a roll. He's on a heater right now. I even told Jesse back home in Portugal, I even lit a little candle in the religious spot of Fatima, get a little extra help there. So I was looking out for us. It's a good day. The sun is shining. Let's go, boys. Jordan Love, get us the lead. Micah Parsons, bring the championship home. All day. Let's go.
When you yell in excitement on an airplane, what language do you yell it in? Portuguese? How do you say it? Portuguese?
He hung up.
Jesse!
I didn't hang up on him. He did it himself.
No,
he walked off with it.
He wanted to keep it tight because he knows we got to get 3 calls a segment.
Great work.
He did.
All right, well done. Well, let's not squander
Why is this the first I've heard of Ricardo and Portugal? We were in Portugal. Would have loved to have gotten some Portuguese tips.
Oh, okay.
It's not the first time.
I don't want to worry. And we do not make any sort of jokes about people's memory on this program because we love you.
Did we have that discussion?
Okay. I'm seriously.
Porto.
Then you started talking in Portuguese, and then you don't really know
that
Portuguese,
was a while ago,
and then
right?
Ricardo
was
like, that's not
2
very.
years ago.
All right, let's see if you speak Cedarburgian. Let's go to Phil in Cedarburg. I'm going to worry about you a little bit now. Phil, good morning.
He had
How
a
are
late
you?
night last night.
It was very late. He's just tired.
It was a long night. That's true. Good point.
Not as long as it was for
be grumpy.
Miami, Ohio. They're still trying to
Nothing
score.
grumpy today.
Less sleep, though, is accurate. Phil, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome. What a great day to be a Packer fan, huh? This is a little bit of heaven. I have a few points, and then I'll just hang up. But just from Jerry Jones' perspective, he's an old dude who does a lot of handshake deals. I got very direct knowledge on how Jerry thinks. He had a deal with Micah, and he felt like Micah went back on it. So he's an old school guy. And the other thing, Jerry Jones is like, I've had Micah for 4 years. I haven't won anything. So who cares? It's kind of his attitude a little bit. And then the other thing with him is he's paid 2 guys gigantic money.
That's true.
And now and it's pretty hard to pay the third guy gigantic money and put a team together.
You're
so
right.
I think that's where the Packers might be kind of stuck now too. But
good point.
And then you look at I think it's just we gave him 2 first-round draft choices. You guys agree? Because Kenny Clark is kind of on the back end here.
He is. Agreed on that as well. Phil, before you go, because I don't want you to hang up, you can't drop a first-hand knowledge of handshake deals with Jerry Jones and just leave us. So without betraying any sort of, attorney-client privilege or whatever other privileges there are, you are the first person who has called to mount any sort of defense for Jerry Jones, and I got to tell you, you mounted a pretty good one. Like, you made really good points there. Because you're right, that was part of this whole issue, is that, he went around the agent, and Micah did apparently agree. I guess he hasn't watched enough Law and Order where you should ask for your lawyer and clam up. But then also the idea of what they've paid out to other players, he's probably at a point where he does need to shedding costs because it isn't going to be enough to win. So where does your firsthand knowledge of Jerry come from?
Oh man, I can't tell, but I'm supposed to have a lunch with my I love Jerry, and I'm a Packer fan. I don't know why I love the guy. I think he's just old school, badass kind of guy.
He's interesting.
Yeah, and
he's
so
interesting.
I can't say, but I'm going to get a lunch with Jerry. So that's been my.
All right. So
here's
all
my
right.
wish.
All right. I'm going to let you go on that, and I'm not calling BS. I believe you because that's not something you just make up. But after lunch with him, I demand. I don't demand a lot. I demand that you get Jerry's permission to share your experience with him with us. Deal?
I will call you guys before it happens, which is going to be in about 2 months from now. And if you want me to ask him anything, whatever.
Just give him our number. Right. We'd love to have him on.
He likes to talk.
Thanks, Phil.
He does like talking.
Indeed. Thanks, Phil. Good call, buddy. All right, so he makes some good points there, right?
I mean, kind of, but not really.
I mean, they're the best points we've had for explaining why would you let a guy of this caliber out your door. That's
basically
for sure.
What he's saying is he let it get personal. I mean, that's what happened. And Jerry, I think, is at the point in his life where, he had a health scare. He's going to do what he wants to do. And is that always in the best interest of what your team is doing? I don't know how you could make that argument today. Now, if you're from their point of view, if you want to say we're not going to win a championship this year anyways, Dak's getting older, we're paying him a bucket load, we got to start rebooting this group, and our defense wasn't good enough against the run. Micah, we're not good enough to utilize a big boy pass rusher like Micah, so let's just go. But you don't do it a week before the season. You open that up in March and April. You get a haul on top of a haul. This is eerily similar to Luka Doncic.
Yes.
This is a very Doncic-type deal, and we'll see how all that shakes out. But if you're awarding a knockout right now on the 29th of August, it's a big-time TKO. It's Michael Spinks-like, and somebody keeps tweeting at me with that picture. Yeah, that's what this was. That's what this is. And the only thing that's missing is Jerry Jones's autograph on it.
All right, I want to take Gary in Denver's call here, and then Ron in Rome and Matthew in Minnesota. You guys are up next after the break, so please hold on because Jesse has given you the Debbie Downer emoji. So I want to hear that. Possible Debbie Downer. So maybe he's misrepresenting your call, but we want to get to you next. So let's get to Gary quick. Gary, good morning. Sorry to keep you waiting, buddy. What do you got?
Morning, and shout out to the Madison dwellers. But I have two things. One is a Debbie Downer. I just think that the cornerback play is really going to come into focus now that we have a pass rush, because the two biggest holes before were lack of pass rush and cornerback play. So I just think the cornerback play is really going to come under focus now. So, and I was always in the Jair camp of holding on to him. So, and I know hindsight's 20/20, but I think having Jair would have really been big. And then the second part of my question or statement was more, Ron Wolf, obviously in the Hall of Fame, 30-year resume, but his two biggest moves that kind of were mentioned were Reggie and Favre. And just thinking about Goody, because I'm a Goody stan as well, if Love, balls out and maybe he gets an MVP or gets him to the big game, and then the Micah Parsons move, is that kind of a Hall of Fame type move, getting Parsons on top of the Love move? And do you ever think they kind of think about that? GMs kind of think about that this could be my Hall of Fame move. Just wondering if Goody kind of had that in the back of his mind somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if he thinks that way or not. Obviously, we found that Xavier McKinney thinks that way, right, with his gold jacket conversation with me and my Pickler sweatshirt. I will say this, and again, this is something we can talk about next week, but there's going to be a lot of disappointment in Mudville if they don't win a Super Bowl during the Micah Parsons era. Is that fair to say? Can I say that and that's not going to be sound graph worthy?
It's still going to be the Jordan Love era, but the Micah Parsons Jordan Love.
Right, yes.
Make
While
no
he's
mistake
on the
about
team.
this. Exactly. Do I think that Goody, every general manager knows that their biggest decisions, and I know one of those decisions was taken away from him, is hiring a head coach and having your quarterback and having that work. And then if you get the transcendent defensive player, the Chiefs have pulled it off with Mahomes and Jones and Kelsey, and Green Bay is hoping that is where they're at. And yes, the pressure, let's not make any mistakes about it. The pressure is ratcheted up 100 times. The amount of attention that the Packers got was substantial. The Cowboys will still probably get, I actually think, by the time this season starts unfolding, where the Cowboys used to always get, this is another big attention. Micah Parsons is a star in this league. He is a bigger star than Jordan Love as we sit here. And in order for the Packers to get it done, I think that will need to flip. Jordan Love will have to, the pressure is on Jordan Love as much as it is Matt LaFleur and Goody. But that pressure has ratcheted because now the expectations aren't let's continue to build and build. The expectations are now we need to win a championship. Mm-hmm. And we better do it now because this move and this cost is going to continue to add up. And you're going to lose guys. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose players. You're going to have to replace them with other people that aren't going to be as established. The time is now. This was a urgency now move that will extend, but with different players within that group outside of Xavier, Jordan, and Parsons.
Really good. That's why you're the best. All right, we need to get to those Debbie Downer calls next. Before we get to Debbie Downers, potentially, here's some great news. New ESPN app. The most live sports, the best championship moments, and so much more. Monday Night Football, college football, NBA, WNBA, NHL, NWSL, college hoops, volleyball, softball, gymnastics, lacrosse. The list goes on and on. Plus, shows like Sports Center with SVP, First Take with Stephen A., College Game Day, and you know this is my absolute favorite. I love these. The entire 30 for 30 library. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. So sign up now. More of your calls next on Micah Parsons Friday. Wonder what the Feelgood Friday will be. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and after Green Bay pulled off arguably the biggest trade in franchise history, well, I might be a little tired from the late night last night, but boy, am I feeling good, as I ever have, on this Feelgood Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. And whether you want your next paint project to rock the bold colors of green and gold, cardinal and white, or anything in between, you can find them along with the pro painters best suited for the project of your dreams at any of Holman Lindsay's Madison area locations. And remember, Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pros at Holman Lindsay. A Wisconsin legend for more than 6 decades, Holman Lindsay is the only paint made and mixed in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Check them out at HolmanLindsay.com. That's HolmanLindsay.com. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stay tuned for Feel Good Friday, coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffel's Labor Day sale. Save 10% store-wide or get 60-month 0% financing plus $50 back for every $4.99 you spend. Only at Steinhoffel's. Wisconsin volleyball starting their 2025 campaign with a pair of top 25 matchups at the Kohl Center over the holiday weekend. Bucky facing 14th ranked Kansas for a 6 p.m. matchup tonight. Then Sunday, the Badgers square off with number 5 Texas at 1 p.m. Wisconsin coming in ranked 8th in the national polls and predicted to finish 3rd in the Big Ten. Join Jesse Nelson for all things pre- and post-game and John Arias for all the in-game action. Catch every match here on 100.5 ESPN, your home for Wisconsin Badger volleyball.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
Hey, it's John Arias, play-by-play voice of Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. Join us for the broadcast coming up later today, right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app, brought to you by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Jim Rutledge here. It's officially camping season, which means I will be using my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. What does that mean? It means it's a customized buying experience. If you're an expert and you know what you want, they're happy to let you take the lead. And if you have a ton of questions, Aaron, Tyler, and the whole team at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb will make sure they can answer them all. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffel's and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Northwestern Mutual of Southern Wisconsin.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Micah Parsons is a Packer.
He's proven, he's been incredible in Dallas. This is just an amazing move. I am shocked that Goody got this pulled off.
Reaction continues next, right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
All right, I want to thank Ron, who's always extremely supportive of our show, and Matthew, who we're going to get to next here, because maybe they're not as Debbie Downery as Jesse's painting them to be in the text chain, and they waited a long time at my behest. So thank you for your service and for your lengthy hold time. Ron, good morning. Thanks for holding, buddy. What are your thoughts on the Micah Parsons trade?
Well, I just want everyone to remember how ecstatic the Jets fans are when they got Aaron Rodgers and they thought they were going to the Super Bowl. But I don't know that much about
Spoken
Micah
like
Parsons.
a true New Yorker, Ron.
Exactly. So if he is a great player who comes in and he's a good teammate and he never gets hurt and he's like a Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs that make our team a lot better, great. First of all, you got a lot of eggs in one basket. He could be the greatest guy, and if he gets injured, we lost all that guaranteed money. I don't know that much about this saying he had a back injury and wanted a second opinion. Does he actually have back problems, or was that just a negotiating ploy?
I think that was a negotiating ploy.
I would agree.
So, I mean, that would be good. But so I'm just, and like Tausch said, you got two big contracts, so that's going to limit you being able to sign other guys. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll be great. He's another Reggie White or Charles Woodson, and he makes the defense better. I couldn't care less about giving up the first round picks because I don't think Gutekunst has done much with the first round picks. We'll see. Lucas Van Ness isn't going to have the excuse that he doesn't have any other good rushers now, so we'll have to see if he ever really works out. So there's a lot up in the air. I hope it works out, but I'm not buying tickets to the Super Bowl yet.
I like it. I like the fact that you're tempering your enthusiasm. I respect
He's
it.
got some skepticism with it.
Yeah.
And by the way, anytime you make a big, bold move, it doesn't mean it's going to work. I loved getting Dallas Dame. I thought it was the right move. Didn't work. And unfortunately, injuries are a part of it. But what you love about it, Dallas Dame was mid-30s when we made that move.
Yep.
Old boy's 26.
Not so old boy.
That's why you make that move. And yes, there's going to be the Rashawn Garys of this world. My hunch is this is probably going to be Rashawn Gary's last crack at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not going to pay him top dollar with Micah. This is probably his last dance here in the G&G. You're going to have a lot of that. Elton Jenkins, now you know why I didn't pay him. You probably had this stuff in the hopper. There's a lot of other things that go into this. You're not going to pay Sheeto.
No,
Jordan Morgan's. We can get into all these dominoes that this is, and that's where you want to be negative. I don't. But this is the reality when you make a big, bold move. There's ripples. All rising tide lifts all boats. There's also some ripples that send people off and get you out of there. That's what happens with rising tides and boats and currents and things of that nature. This is the road this is the lake/ocean that we've chosen to go down. And I'm excited about it. Could be a choppy ride. Get your, what's the stuff you put on if you get seasick? What's that called?
Dramamine?
The patch.
Get your Dramamine. If you're a little queasy and you're a Packer fan, get your Dramamine, because this is going to be a hell of a ride. That doesn't mean there ain't going to be waves splashing up against your windows and your boat going to rock a little bit. But I'll tell you what, that's how you get to places you don't go. The Drake Passage. You want to get to Antarctica? You got to go through the Drake Passage. I saw some videos. It is a great journey destination to get to, but I'm going to tell you, it's choppy. You're going to have some major league waves. That's what this is. And you know what? You get places that are awesome by having to go through a lot of stuff. This is what this is.
Is that how you get to Portugal?
I'll have to ask Ricardo. I don't know. I know I haven't asked him anything about Portugal, so I'd like to get his insights.
All right, let's take one more call here, and then we'll get to the top of the 11 o'clock
Passage.
Yeah, I don't know. No, don't do it. No,
So check it out.
That was a
Drake
more
Passage
obscure
to
reference than the one we had yesterday.
I'm not going to lie to you. Why are we not more fascinated about what goes on at Antarctica? You can't go there. What's going on at Antarctica? I'd like to find out more, but that is another show for another day. So let's get to another call.
You think there's
Tune in Monday.
An Antarctic conspiracy?
When we reveal
No,
what's going on in
What is
Antarctica?
going on there?
What's
What are they
going
doing
on?
in Antarctica? Nobody can go there. Why is there not a hotel in Antarctica? Tell me there's no hotels in Antarctica.
What's going on in Minnesota? It's Matthew calling from Minnesota. And Matthew, please save your questions about what's going on in Antarctica for later in the next week. What do you got on the possible Debbie Downer view you have on Micah Parsons?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'll start with saying that, listen, I agree with everything that's been said. I love this move for the Packers. I think our Super Bowl window is wide open for the next 4 to 5 years with Micah Parsons. My Debbie Downer kind of question is, are we all concerned with his locker room presence? He's very outspoken. He's somewhat disruptive when he's down in Dallas. I know that some players and some people within the organization saw his podcast as kind of frustrating and disruptive within the locker room. His preseason performance a couple weeks ago where he was laying on the table, uninterested in his team and in the game, not wearing the team jersey. So haven't heard a lot of talk about that in the last 24 hours. What are your guys' thoughts?
Awesome point. Awesome
good
point. Way to hold us accountable. Great.
The thing that I guess, were you hearing that prior? Because he's a player. He's obviously a really good player. He had his podcast. But the whole malcontent and not wearing a jersey and not doing that, I think he's playing the game. His back was sore. He wanted a new contract. I will give him a pass on the last 2 or 3 weeks. Training camping up, give him a pass. Judge him on the 4 years he played. And was he a great leader? I don't know if you're going to get that. I think that's going to be a question mark. I don't know if he's a great leader. Is he a great player? Abso-blank-and-lootly he is. So I think those are all fair questions. I don't think that you're going to see you have Jordan Love, you have Xavier McKinney. I think that part of it, I think that's going to be the group. You're going to be more group-led than if you're looking at it from – I don't think you have to worry about what kind of locker room presence Micah Parsons is going to have.
I don't think so either, but I do agree. I think Matthew makes a good point because if you Google Micah Parsons podcast controversy, you do get a lot of you get a lot back. Mike McCarthy, Micah Parsons had a conversation after Edge Rusher's podcast where he apparently threw Mike McCarthy under the bus on it. The drama around Micah Parsons just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
No, I said that he listed his top 5 quarterbacks. He didn't even list his own quarterback.
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
But Jason, that's the culture Dallas has. That comes from the ownership.
They dealt with Aaron Rodgers. They handled Aaron Rodgers being on McAfee every week, so they have some experience with it, with potential controversies. So, but I think it's an extremely valid question, and
no doubt,
as Matthew said, I have not heard that be brought up. So kudos to him for bringing that up. Just like kudos to you for always enjoying a Coors Light, except for when you're calling a Badgers game, of course.
Indeed, Coors Light, brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered. So it is made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans, they are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection, refreshingly cold, at only 102 calories. Coors Light, it is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, so if you have been considering calling and you either were getting a busy signal or you're like, I'm not waiting to talk to these two geniuses, we have some open lines finally. So Spencer in Minnesota is going to tip us off at the start of the 11 o'clock hour. And then a guy that I had to make the effort to say hello to him at the draft at Potawatomi because apparently he was not going to say hello to me or didn't recognize me. Never meet your heroes and never snub the guy that hosts the show with your hero. Ron in the Key. He was going to leave without even saying hello.
Well, he's a poker star now.
He had to go win some big money. That's true.
Things change when you become a poker star.
Spencer and Ron, you guys are on deck, and then we've got some open lines if you want to call. 844-770-3776. We'll also get to your text messages in the 11 o'clock hour, which starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball. The regular season starts with the opening Spike Classic at the Kohl Center. 8th-ranked Wisconsin takes on 14th-ranked Kansas tonight. And number 5, Texas takes on 8th-ranked Wisconsin Sunday afternoon. Listen to both matches right here on Madison's home of Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball, 100.5 ESPN. Due to the volleyball matches tonight and Sunday, Brewers games this weekend on 100.5 ESPN actually shifting over to 1670 The Zone tonight and Sunday. You can find the Brewers games on 1670 The Zone as they head north of the border to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The rest of the day dedicated to Micah Parsons, traded to the Green Bay Packers yesterday. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst working hand-in-hand with Cowboys GM Jerry Jones to get the deal done. Kenny Clark and 2 future first-round picks to Dallas in exchange for one of the best defensive players in the game. And Parsons reportedly agreeing to a 4-year contract extension, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Reactions abundant, and they continue next on Wilde and Tausch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with more of your calls. 844-770-3776. Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. What does Spencer in Minnesota think? Spencer, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How are you, buddy?
Awesome. How are you guys?
We're okay.
So, I guess we'll just get right into it. Awesome to get.
Time out.
Why
is
you
why is
waited
this so
an hour
awkward?
and a half on hold?
What? Usually, you guys say
I thought
something
you were
more
gonna
to the
say
caller.
something. We had a
That's
pregnant
on
pause.
me.
There was a long pregnant pause
Hey, I'll
there.
take that. Yeah, that was on me. That was on me. All right, Spencer. I'll take the blame on that one.
I'll start backing up.
Awesome. Well, how about you? That was on me.
Reset
All right,
the play.
What's your point? How excited are you, Spencer?
What's your point?
Very, very excited. First thing, I wonder what our mindset would be. Obviously, this is awesome, but it's even better that we have Jeff Hafley as our DC. Like, if we made this move and Joe Barry was our defensive coordinator, obviously we'd still be very excited, but Jeff Hafley being able to have Parsons as a little chess piece is much better than Joe Barry, who's probably would just line him up at the edge and have him rush every play.
Or a
Hafley's going to move him around quite a bit, you would think. The other thing, too, thinking about it is corner. Yeah, corner. Shout out Preston Smith.
Jason.
The cap, obviously, that's going to be an issue, and along with Parsons' versatility, you mentioned a few guys, but God, I feel like it's almost a guarantee now that Quay Walker, this has got to be his last season in Green Bay, right?
Probably, yeah.
I was more shocked, maybe I'm in the minority here, but when we traded away Devontae Adams, that was more shocking to me than this. Like, it's weird how this was almost more expected than when we traded away Devontae. Like, there was very little rumblings of that when that happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wanted to throw this out there because I don't think this has been covered at all. It's a guy who I'm not a big fan of. Also, I even want to call in the last 2 weeks about the potential kickback job that he got. I don't know how things work in college and the Packers and how that relationship is, but Mark Murphy getting inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame yesterday, I believe. I mean, talk about an overshadow here. It's like you almost have to wonder, like, did they do this on purpose? No one's talking about Mark Murphy getting inducted in the Packers Hall of Fame.
So, like, what an amazing point. I'm going to let you finish, but I have to interject.
That's all I have.
I forgot that happened yesterday. I was supposed to go to cover it, and I forgot to go.
I feel bad for him. I don't even like the guy. And
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I seriously, I had not thought about that since that very second you said that. Yeah, congratulations to Mark. He's the only inductee in this year's class, and I totally forgot to go. I bet those guys, like, I don't know who else would have went to that amid all the coverage of this, because this broke at what? 3-ish, 3:30, 4, somewhere in there. What time was it? It was after my hit on KBN, and they brought me back around 4 o'clock. So it was, totally missed it. Thanks for the call, Spencer. Great call. Congratulations, Mark Murphy, on your induction into the Packers Hall of Fame. Okay, let's keep going with the calls.
What's so funny?
I don't know. You for the first portion of the 11 o'clock hour, you've been understated. Kind of quiet.
Oh, no. I just
we'll have less
I didn't
sleep,
have a
we'll
ton
be
to
grumpy.
add.
That's okay.
I'm not
Let's get to
grumpy.
Ron in the key. I'm sure he's very
Have I
excited
been
to talk
grumpy
to you.
You
today?
have not? No,
I have
not at all.
No,
grumpy.
I don't
No.
think you're grumpy.
No.
Okay.
It's if Jesse could edit that hot key to, and we'll have less sleep. That's what he's going for there. I don't want to speak for Jesse.
I think we're all a little tired today. It was a big night for a lot of people.
Yada
for a
yada
lot of
yada.
different- Big
and the
week, big night.
Red Hawks didn't score a single point.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I don't think there is a conspiracy to overshadow.
No,
Mark
I don't
Murphy's
think so either. It's a funny coincidence.
Packer Hall
though.
of Fame thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is very funny, very, very funny that is how that played out. But
Clowns are funny now. All right, let's get to him. I don't know if he has special walk-up music, given his place in the GKB
World Series of
ecosphere.
Poker theme song, whatever that is.
It is Ron in the key. Ron, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How are you?
I am okay. How are you all today? I speaking of, understated and quiet, me, that
thing I
World
think
Series
of.
of Poker, the little banjo, that'd be pretty cool, Jesse. Get to work on that. Kind of. So One, Jason, I'm sorry. I just didn't obviously see you. You know, you are my hero. You get paid doing something that I do as much as you and don't get paid.
Well, you get what you pay for.
GKB Radio.
You write for channel3000.com?
Good one, Jesse.
Anyway.
Thank you.
So not necessarily a Debbie Downer, but let's call it perspective. And then I have a really quick Feelgood Friday, if you'll allow.
Sure.
Detroit
We
still
will.
got the
No,
best.
we will, Jason. We will.
Detroit still got the better team. You take their game wrecker edge, their wide receiver, their running backs, their quarterback, their O-line. That's the better team, in my opinion. Right now, on paper. I'm super excited. This has been the most wrong I've been about a sports take since I said that Tim Duncan would probably be a poor man's Marcus Camby.
That is a bad take. Wow.
Nailed it.
You got to own. Hey, I believe
you do, and you do.
Absolutely, you do.
You gotta
respect it. Respect.
You got to own bad takes. But this isn't a bad take. Right now on paper, Detroit's still the better team. I think. I'm interested if you guys will go on record as saying whether you agree with that or not, and then one Feelgood Friday.
Well, thanks for letting us know what the order was going to be on this. Yes,
I will
Tausch,
disagree with Ron. I think it's close. I think Micah Hutchinson is a really good player. He snapped his leg in half. I'd like to see how he reacts and comes back. And by the way, they lost guys. That whole group as a whole, I still think Green Bay's defensive line and linebackers are markedly better than what Detroit has. You want to say wideouts? I'll give you that. Quarterback is probably.
Will you give me that one of the arguably best wide receivers in the NFL might be better
I just
than
gave
the
you
rookies that we have?
No, I gave you wideouts. I gave it to you. Yeah.
That's not giving it. That's not giving it. That's like saying, I'll give you Ben's better at basketball than me. It's not giving me anything.
I haven't seen you play, and Ben's kind of washed, so I don't know that. We don't know how that is. All right. What's your Feel Good Friday, old Podna?
I will agree with you.
Okay.
I'll agree with you.
You agree with Ron?
With me, Jason?
I agree with Ron. Yep. I do.
Yeah.
Well, you know the beautiful part of this? The beautiful part of this?
We're going to find out.
Next Sunday, we're going to
10
find
days.
out. We'll find out
Exactly.
next Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, Packers are favorite and have been all summer. Small favorite. So you guys got to help me. Is one of the pillars of GKB like community? It's got to be something like that. You guys have like a million pillars or standards, right? It's got to be, right? Community?
Core values, yes. We need you to get to your Feel Good Friday prematurely because we have other stuff to do here.
Okay,
so enough lead up.
Pickler in the Menominee Falls. I know that Tausch and the Pickler community would love to give to their community. So, Tausch, I will expect you to get back to me on sponsoring the Menominee Falls girls basketball team and them then advertising for your Pickler Menominee Falls. The email is in your inbox there at GKB.
That's not a Feel-Good
That's not a Feel-Good Friday. That's a sales.
That's like a bully. This is Bully Friday. Okay. So just wait. What are we looking for, Rod? Because, yes, I appreciate you coming out last week to our grand opening. I don't think I saw you on Saturday.
You sure
that would have been
there?
a great time to have that conversation.
As opposed to now.
Tausch, don't you?
Yeah,
Tausch,
on
don't you
air
think
during the Micah
like
Parsons sweepstakes.
No, right. Hey, you're welcome. I didn't come out. I think you owe me a thank you.
All right.
All right.
I will take a look at my email, Ron, and we will get back to you. How's that? We will figure something out.
Ron has
start
lost
vetting these calls better.
Ron has lost his feel good. Well, we all know what we get with Ron. I thought he was.
I don't know if that's a feel good Friday.
It's not even close to a feel good Friday.
But as Ron usually does, he does bring a topic and something to the table because he does wish he hosted. He does wish he hosted a sports talk show. Detroit's still a good team, but I think the Micah Parsons news. I said this on Sportsman this morning. Philly deserves it because of this. Philly deserves that. Nut whack for everybody. For everybody not on YouTube, nut whack. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Philly deserves to be the top dog, and Green Bay deserves to be right below him. That's where I have my tierdom. And Green Bay, the expectation game and the pressure is ramped up with what happened yesterday. That's the great thing. And also all right, you better be ready to take that on. I see Shido talking about Super Bowl. I'm guessing there'll be a conversation about tamping that down a little bit, but the cat's out of the bag. This is a championship window, and the championship window started yesterday.
We will get to more of your texts because we haven't gotten any of those coming up next. I kind of feel like after all those calls, we kind of ended on an awkward call. You want to sponsor our basketball?
We got a few more on hold to rescue. We got a few more coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, then, if you want to make one call to join the show, it's one number. If you want to make one call because you've been injured in an accident, it's another. It's 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. That's Gruber Law Offices. And it is one call. That's all. That gets you started. And they will help you with everything you need to get what you deserve if you've been seriously injured in an accident. Go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tosher here, reminding you that there is no better product and no better taste than Grassland Dairy. Well, the run of success for baseball in Milwaukee has been pretty great for almost a decade now, with another trip to the postseason looking like a great possibility this year. But that's nothing compared to the run of success Grassland Dairy has had, serving up delicious taste and high-quality butter since 1904. That is over 5 generations. Grassland's commitment to quality and excellence starts with the way farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of the process. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable, delicious, nutritious dairy ingredients as they have for all these years. Butter better with better butter. There is no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
There's a new sheriff in Titletown.
They added the best defensive player in the NFC.
Micah Parsons is coming to Green Bay.
Jordan Love's no longer the star of this team. Micah Parsons.
Continue reacting with us next on 100.5 ESPN.
Get out this summer and experience Road America, America's national park of speed. Located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake, Road America is home to the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn circuit that's hosted the world's best since 1955. Camp on site all weekend, enjoy state fair-style food, and bring the family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult. Don't miss Arian's Art on Wheels, September 12th through the 14th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back September 9th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Texas Rangers.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in September 9th at 7:05 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until September 2nd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
What was the, and we got to play catch up here now because Ron put us behind with his sketchy Feelgood Friday. Hey, you want to sponsor our basketball team? Micah Parsons has tweeted.
I just saw that.
It would appear, and rightfully so, that Jaden Reed is keeping 11.
Well, I think he would have had to have spent money to not, because I know in the NBA,
yes,
you have to pay for any unused inventory that has been printed. So obviously
you're right.
Micah could do that for him. But
that would have to be part of the negotiation, because I remember when Darnell Savage wanted to switch from 26 to 21 for the 21 Savage,
which is great
artist, but they had already printed 26s, had to buy those, and I assume donate them to Goodwill. So Micah Parsons deciding between 0 and 1. Didn't we used to, was it On the Rocks or Scalzo and Brust? There's a former GKB ESPN Wisconsin show that used to play a game called 1 or 0.
Yeah, it was like coding, right? Isn't that how you code?
Yes. Ones and zeros
in the computer world.
Yeah.
The answer is he goes with 0 here. He's got to be 0. That's what he's got to do. Because isn't 1 retired?
It's just
Curly
never.
Lambeau?
No,
What? Isn't there some?
It's not. Yeah, there's some weird
history.
story. I'll fact check that. There is a story behind it. They don't normally issue it. Right now on line 1 is Jimmy in Madison, and Jimmy is a Cowboys fan. So I don't know how this call is going to go. As long as he doesn't ask you to sponsor his kid's softball team, I think we're okay. But Jimmy, I'm curious how you feel today, because this is the kind of call we needed to kind of balance out the show. What do you got for us, Jimmy?
Yeah, so first of all, I kind of have a love-hate with the Joneses. I mean, they do a lot of things right, a lot of
You are a
things
Cowboys
wrong.
fan.
But I do think that this is a possibility where it just kind of works out both ways. I don't think Dallas has a lot of eggs in the basket with Dak, which they extremely overpaid. They paid him what I always tell people, A-plus money for a B quarterback. Then they paid CD, which is, was kind of the market, I think. But then when it comes to Micah, once again, kind of a love-hate, great player, little bit of a cancer. I'm not in tune with the locker room, obviously, but I do think there's more than, kind of behind the scenes that gets kept a little quiet, but that'll probably be, I know Green Bay is a well-run organization. Be interesting to see if it is Micah, or if this is a marriage that, year 1 is great, and if it starts to slide. The last thing I want to say is that I know watching a lot of his games, there's times that I kind of want you guys maybe to put this in your bank where it's like third down, key part of the game, and he's like not on the field, and he's on the on the sideline sucking wind. Now I attributed that to a lot of maximum effort, but just something to keep an eye on, and that's kind of what I have.
Well, Jimmy, great call, and we appreciate the insight and the balancing things out. I do love your love-hate relationship with the Joneses because I have a few other friends who are also Cowboy fans, and I think they feel the same way. I don't think you're alone in that. I am always a little curious when there is this level of euphoria, when we come down from that high and we start to look. I have not broken down the film like I did of that big game that Nate Hobbs had against the Arizona Cardinals. But I think Micah Parsons is physical too. I don't need to watch a lot of tape of that.
I'll say one of the negatives,
maybe not
if you
against
want
the
to,
run.
and I think that, that's what I'm saying. And Jerry Jones said it. I think teams have attacked him running the football. That is what you do with great pass rushers, is you try and do that. But you watch him pursue on the backside. That will be something that I'm sure Jeff Hafley because stopping the run, you want to get a guy that can rush the passer like Micah, and that is job one. But that will be, I think, one of the things that will be called into question about Micah Parsons is can he hold up against the run, and we'll find that out too.
Let's get to one more call. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, just real quickly. So if I were to ask you, because you have been very enthusiastic, as have I, for a beat writer, I've been very enthusiastic. If you have a concern or if there is anything that would nag at you, is it the locker room? Is it the podcast? Is it the stopping the run? What is it that if you said, okay, I'm going to take a beat and think about any of the drawbacks to this, is it the not being able to pay other guys and the amount of investment dollars you have in your Micah Parsons and your Jordan Love? Because, look, a year from now, this is the second year of McKinney's deal. You said
He's going to want a new deal.
You said this, right? And you said it about Josh Jacobs, too, that this is a kind of a second year and then see what happens after 2 years. He's going to want to have that reworked as well. So how do you kind of view that in terms of what are the drawbacks if you see any?
And that's why you need to win. That is a drawback. There is going to be you're going to lose some really good players because the money just isn't going to work. And there's going to be a big sea change. It will be interesting to see when that contract gets released. Russ has done a fantastic job of spreading it out and minimizing it. And Jordan Love's big numbers are coming up. They'll have to rework some of his deal. But Russ has done such a good job. The Xavier McKinney deal, Hamilton from the Ravens just got a new deal. I'm sure Xavier McKinney is going to that will be a concern. But, yeah, I think from an on-the-field standpoint, he's a freak athlete. He flies around. I don't think it's an effort thing. But I'm guessing this would be curious when Matt LaFleur, you talk to him, how did you handle game planning him? Because if you look at it, they ran at him. They tried to run the football at Micah. That is what teams are going to do, and that would be the concern. Anytime there's a great pass rusher, that doesn't mean they're going to be great against the run. Great pass rushers like getting to the quarterback because quarterback sacks and hitting the quarterback is why you get paid big boy money. He just got paid big boy money. I'm not concerned about it, but when you ask the question that way, that would be at probably the top of my list. I'm not worried about the locker room part of it. The locker room part in Dallas's locker room, and the leadership and the organization sets a tone for how business is handled a certain way. Green Bay does it a lot differently. I'm not worried about Micah in Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should be. I think it's important to look at other ideas when it comes to this. All right, let's get to our last call. It's Steve in Wanakee. Steve, good morning. Thanks for holding on. What do you got?
Good morning. How are you today?
Splendid.
Okay. Yeah, baby. Ron's call, just a couple quick thoughts. Ron's call from Wanakee. as far as where we sit in the division. Let's remember, going into the fourth quarter in the playoffs last year against the Eagles, 16-10. Not too bad. No. Number one, thoughts. We never go after anyone in free agency. We heard it all spring. Well, we did now, and we filled the one position that we really needed to fill. Number two, this guy's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's a proven commodity. And number three, his addition adds so much to the rest of the defense. The other rushers don't have as much pressure, and the cornerbacks won't have as much pressure either. Those are my thoughts. I'm really glad he's coming.
Yeah, you sound very excited, Steve. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. From Wanakee and The Key and Francis Scott Off Key. Tausch, how does this affect
Jimmy
your...
Key, lefty for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Key West. Didn't you go to Key West one year?
Oh, he did. It was awesome. I think Keegan Bradley's the Ryder Cup captain.
Damon Key, former Marquette star.
I loved him.
What is the
heavier set fella?
Yeah. What is the key to having success on Prize Picks?
Well, the freebie last week helps. You got Dak. Dak 0.5 coming up next week.
Tougher now.
Am I right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, you know what? We make decisions every day, and on Prize Picks, you know what's nice? Being right and getting paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play, more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. You pick it right, you can cash in. Prize Picks puts their users first. All their withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. And you know what I love? We have all these opinions. At least Jesse and I do. And Jordan Love, how many yards? Josh Jacobs, how many rushing yards? You have all of these options. You have strong thoughts, and now with the Micah Parsons trade, how does that affect it? We'll turn that into real cash. Download the app today. Use that code WI. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. I'm going more. I think this whole I saw Orlovsky say this morning. He said Matt LaFleur should go right into the offensive office, go to Jordan Love and say, be more aggressive. We now feel like we can make a few more mistakes, and we're going to be fine because of this addition. The pass rush, I think Jordan Love's going to have a bigger year than even before with this addition. Prize Picks, I hope I'm right, and you know what? It is good to be right.
Jesse will get to some texts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and after Green Bay pulled off arguably the biggest trade in franchise history, well, I might be a little tired from the late night last night, but boy, am I feeling good, as I ever have, on this Feelgood Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. And whether you want your next paint project to rock the bold colors of green and gold, cardinal and white, or anything in between, you can find them along with the pro painters best suited for the project of your dreams at any of Holman Lindsay's Madison area locations. And remember, Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pros at Holman Lindsay. A Wisconsin legend for more than 6 decades, Holman Lindsay is the only paint made and mixed in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Check them out at HolmanLindsay.com. That's HolmanLindsay.com. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stay tuned for Feel Good Friday, coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back September 9th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Texas Rangers.
And Yelich
Launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in September 9th at 7:05 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
For the first time, you can stream all of ESPN all in one place, and it has changed the game for me. All the best live sports, the most championship moments, studio shows, documentaries, and originals, too many to even name them all. Plus, all the great new features like watching 4 games at once with multi-view, your fantasy team updates live in-game. They thought of everything to make this the ultimate destination for fans. So you got to check it out. Sign up for the all-new ESPN app, like right now.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Something special's brewing in Milwaukee.
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Out of here!
Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
You can't make it up.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You latched onto me, then cried how strong you were. I told you when you asked, I knew this wouldn't last. At least I could be honest about that.
All right, we need to get to Feelgood Friday. Jesse's got a couple of texts. Jesse, what do you got?
Oh, okay.
Well, it's 11:49, bro.
Well, we're going local the rest of the day. Who cares?
I heard yesterday, or I saw in my text messages, that you were bragging that you took over the show and kept it on time, and you went to break at 11:51?
Yeah. That was good.
Just want to clarify.
Is anyone worried Micah Parsons not being ready for week 1 in game day shape? Sean in Sun Prairie wants to ask that question.
I think you should be. I don't know if you need to be like super worried. He ain't going to play a full game. He'll be on a pitch count, would be my guess, and it'll probably be. I don't know what that snap count will be, but I can't imagine. He hadn't done much during training camp because he was, dinged up.
Laying on a table.
I would think 25 reps is probably where I would think that they're going to want that to be. And so, no, I'm not worried about that. I think it'll be limited. They're going to let him build up, especially with the fact there's 2 games in 5 days. And then after that, I think you'll see the ramp up get started.
I'll say this. I would predict he will play a very high percentage of the snaps on September 28th in Week 4.
I would agree with that.
When they play the Dallas Cowboys. Tausch is right. I bet he's a situational pass rusher. They want to be smart with him and he has not had a true training camp. So when he arrives today, I'm sure they'll get the lay of the land in terms of where he's at.
One more from Mike in Madison. What will this do to the dynamic of the locker room? I only wonder if, with the season starting next week, if this will cause rifts at all. I hope not, but it's the only concern of mine. From Mike.
Tausch, do you see concerns of any kind with rift? What would the rifts be?
No, the rift would be, I mean, it's an interesting point. And again, next week will be when we really start dissecting and not just celebrating what we just saw. The rift will be, everybody is going to be excited. The juice in that locker room will be at an all-time high because you send a message with how you approach your offseason and what you do, trade deadline. This is we're ready to win now team. The team in the locker room will rally on that. But there's also guys that understand that the money that was just paid means I ain't going to get paid in Green Bay. And that would be I think the rift that Mike is bringing up, because there are casualties financially with this move. And we can dissect all of that down the road. That would be the part. But as far as this year's team, bringing Micah Parsons, regardless of what Jerry said, bringing Micah Parsons into your locker room helps you win and helps you win big because of the talent that he has.
So I wanted to take a quick look at this because it was in 2018 that and I just saw this from, I like to give credit where it's due, Coach Pinter in our YouTube comments. This is very similar to the timing of the trade that brought Khalil Mack to the Bears, right? It was on September 1st, I believe, that year. Similar scenario. Remember, we talked about this earlier in the week about how Goody was in on that.
Yep.
In that game for your Chicago Bears, Khalil Mack had a sack, he had an interception, he had a pass breakup, he forced a fumble, and he recovered a fumble against the Green Bay Packers, by the way, in the opener.
He had a good day.
In 2018. Now, that was also the day that Aaron Rodgers emerged from his knee injury and came back into the game and led the Packers to victory. But Khalil Mack, the Bears played 60 defensive snaps. Khalil Mack played 42 of them.
That's a lot.
So take that for what it's worth. I don't know how much Micah Parsons is going to do
Set
or what
the number
jersey he's
at
going to wear.
25 snaps. 25 snaps is what I'd set it at.
Okay, I like that. All right. We need to wrap up the show and wrap up the week with Feelgood Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Tausch, can you sponsor my kids' sports team next? It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and it is Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison, and it's brought to you by Pizza Hut. How about this, celebrating into Labor Day weekend? We're giving away Free Food Friday from Pizza Hut right now. Caller number 11 in honor of Micah Parsons. Caller number 11 at 844-770-3776 gets Free Food Friday courtesy of Pizza Hut. Introducing Pizza Hut's new handcrafted personal flats pizzas. You can enjoy bold recipes like Nashville Hot Chicken, Pepperoni Duo, 3 Cheese, Ultimate, and Chicken Bacon Ranch. $5 each all day, every day. Head over to pizzahut.com or select Pizza Hut locations to enjoy your own Free Food Friday. And remember, no one out pizzas the Hut. Caller number 11 right now, 844-770-3776 wins Free Food Friday courtesy of Pizza Hut.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. Wisconsin Volleyball starting their 2025 campaign with a pair of top 25 matchups at the Kohl Center over the holiday weekend. Bucky facing 14th ranked Kansas for a 6 p.m. matchup tonight. Then Sunday, the Badgers square off with number 5 Texas at 1 p.m. Wisconsin coming in ranked 8th in the national polls and predicted to finish 3rd in the Big Ten. Join Jesse Nelson for all things pre- and postgame, and John Arias for all the in-game action. Catch every match here on 100.5 ESPN, your home for Wisconsin Badger volleyball.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feelgood Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
Born and raised under the rain and a western wind, felt the way. Try to live up to the say I am. Is it any wonder? Shame comes calling my first name.
All right, we're super late, but the good news is we're just cutting into Mr. Irrelevant. He calls his show Mr. Irrelevant, so it's not really relevant if he misses the first 5 minutes of the show.
Joining? Mr. Rational going to join Mr. Irrelevant
Mr. Rational's got a big night of volleyball ahead of him, so he's got to do other things.
A couple of housekeeping things first. One, and it's the number one, before we get to Feelgood Friday, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. Number one is not officially retired. It has been held in abeyance for Curly Lambeau, who wore number one. It has not been worn since Lambeau wore it in 1926. At the same time, I think the field's named after you. You burned down that lodge, allegedly. If Micah Parsons wants number one, I think he should be allowed to have number one. That's my opinion. 2.
Okay.
We will start our Steinhafels Sleepers of the Week again next week as we go into the opener. We did them in the preseason, but I have to tell you about Steinhafel's biggest Labor Day sale ever because it's happening right now. You save 10% off store-wide, or you can use Steinhafel's 60-month 0% financing and get $50 instant cash back on every $499 you spend. Plus, if you buy a premium mattress, and you'll get free premium delivery on your entire order. And that doesn't stop there. Get amazing doorbusters like a Sealy mattress for only $199 and sofas starting at just $299. Shop Steinhafel's Labor Day sale in-store or online at steinhafels.com. 3. Jesse needs to pick a winner for trivia this week before we go.
3 names in the hat. 3 names in the hat. Not a lot going on. And, oh, look at that. Congratulations to Greg and Nina, our first-time contestant yesterday.
Good for you, Greg.
One of the names only had 1 entry. That's not surprising. Congrats, Greg.
Greg, well done. And finally, Feelgood Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. We mentioned him earlier. We have said the way this trade plays out, I think Goody gave up a guy that he was ready to move on from anyway, but that doesn't mean that Kenny Clark's impact on this organization, on the community, the kind of guy he is, the locker room guy he was in Green Bay. The guy's a really good player and a really good dude. And he's been a friend of the show. He has always been a stand-up guy. The guy played with a bad foot, and you didn't hear one thing about him last year making excuses about his performance. So, Kenny Clark, we say this with all sincerity as our Feel Good Friday. Thank you for your service. We're going to miss you around here. And we appreciate the guy that you've been during your time with the Green Bay Packers. That is Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Tausch, any final words on the 17-0 victory over Miami of Ohio last night by the Badgers?
Great start on D. I thought offensively we're hoping for good news on Billy Edwards' his injury, and the building blocks are starting. I thought a good win. We're going to need to keep getting better.
Bring on Middle Tennessee State. That's it for us today. Mr. Irrelevant is not so irrelevant today across ESPN Wisconsin next. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors.